It is the season of ghosts and ghouls, screams and scares, terror and tummy aches. And as we lay out our costumes, turn on a horror movie, or carve out our jack-o'-lanterns, a little excitement flutters at the promise of this strange autumn ritual. For this is the one time of year when we can set aside the ideas of love, Yuletide, thankfulness, or colored eggs, and embrace what's spooky, the danger, the adrenaline, the off-putting or macabre. It's a time when the skeletons are spooky and scary, when beetles get juiced and monsters get mashed. So don your fangs, climb aboard your broom, or strap on that glove full of finger knives, and settle in for a little tale of a quaint community in a distant fantasy land. A community not too different than yours, with its own strange autumn ritual that will be forever impacted by strangers on the horizon. I hope you have glow sticks at hand and some cheap, fun-sized candy nearby, as the It's a Mimic podcast proudly presents a 3-act tale of a trio of travelers traipsing toward a town that is taken with tidings of terror and treats. In this adventure simply called Fear Itself. Before we get into the story, let us first meet the 3 players and the characters that they will be playing. Miaca,
Hi.
can you walk us through who your character is that you've built for this adventure?
Her name's Emora Sagegrove. She's a level 5 Circle of the Land druid. Her background is that she's a guide, which 100% fits her vibe. And she's a wood elf. She's, I would say, like medium build type of character. She has like brown skin, wears a bunch of green, has like leaves in her hair and stuff like that. A very like approachable person all around. As far as for like how she acts, she's very friendly, like very positive, and is like just willing to step up and like, I guess you could say, fuck shit up. So that's her.
All right, sounds good. I think next alphabetically by character name is Pepperina. Walk us through who you're playing.
So I'm playing Orla Umtrowel. She's a level 5 sorcerer of draconic nature, of course. Her background is in entertainment, so I hope you're all ready to hear some bagpipes playing. And she is a rock gnome because, of course, I am. She has green hair that is up in like ponytails and very wispy and wild. She has a lot of piercings coming out of her ears, very shiny little trinkets and stuff, a lot of necklaces and things like that. She sort of likes to collect pretty things. She always sort of felt out of place growing up in her gnome society, so that's why she left and is out wandering, just trying to figure herself out, really. Like I said, she collects little things and trinkets along the way and is just figuring out what being connected to a dragon means for her.
Nice. And Casey, last but not least, who are you playing?
Hello. I am playing Velindra Ashenwing. She is a level 5 warlock, and she has the subclass Fiend Patron. She has the background of a charlatan, and she is a white dragonborn. She is a very proud, tall, draconic form, and there is like an eerie dissonance about her presence. She has ashen gray scales versus bright white, and horns that curve back from her skull, and there seems to be evidence of like soot, or like the tips of her horns and the tips of her fingers look like they're burned and sooty. And she has a very crackly voice, which I am not going to try and do.
All right.
And she, as a child, had her village taken over and raided and basically set on fire. And that is when Griselda the Ash Hag came and found her and offered her life if she wished to survive the fire. And of course, Velindra said yes, not really knowing what was going to happen in her future. And from then on, she did have more powers and unique abilities, but it did change her forever.
Very nice. All right. So without any further ado, are you ladies ready to partake on the adventure that I am calling Fear Itself?
Oh my.
Do it.
You are 31 days into your 122-day trek across the region known as the Border Backwoods. The air is crisp in the morning, but the sun warms your skin by almost noon, and it looks like the old crone that you had spoken to before your travels was right. You're having good weather and making good time because of it. There's been nothing to note on the wide forest path as you've ridden 3 abreast with still 5 feet on either side of your group along this wide forest road. There's nothing to notice on the track through the border backwoods except the vibrant colors of the changing leaves, the odd dragonfly that seems to follow you for short periods, and the mind-boggling abundant number of silent crows in a massive murder that is so dense it nearly blocks out the sun when it shifts and dances in front of it. But this flock is in the distance, far to the west, and only visible through the trees intermittently. A curiosity only, shifting hypnotically and bothering no one. The last 2 days have seen the dirt road that you're on lead you into the foothills of a short mountain range that you know you'll be riding beside for a week or more, as the mountains are quite rocky and perilous. But the foothills are lazy, and the path handles them easily, leading up and down, although there appear to be more ups than downs these days. It's midday on this 31st day of travel that you see sunlight shining at the top of one particularly long and steep hill that you're riding up. It's as if there are no more trees beyond it. Perhaps a clearing or a grove covers the downslope on the other side of this small hill. Off to the side of the road, just in the final scraps of shadow 100 feet in front of you, stands the silhouette of a man with what looks like a strange floppy hat balanced on his only leg. He's standing perfectly still, and you can't tell if he's facing toward you or away. And in the distance, you can smell cinnamon. What would you guys like to do?
I'm not concerned. I'm walking up. Hello.
There's no response. Your eyes are having trouble adjusting. You're going from the forest shadows, and he is right on the cusp of the bright sunlight. It's pretty difficult to make out, even if he has shifted his head to make note of you moving.
How far away is he from us?
About 100 feet, although Velindra is now heading forward.
I'm gonna call out and say, do you need help? Are you in need of any assistance?
There's no response.
This guy's weird.
I'm gonna keep moving forward.
We should follow her, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Are you going to walk straight up to him, Velindra?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get up to about 30 feet away, unless he starts moving.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception, 12.
You're going to get about 40 feet away before you realize that this is no man. This is a scarecrow, or at least the top half of one. It is dressed as a jester, and it is propped up on the top of a short signpost.
Oh my god, it's nothing. I call over my shoulder.
What do you mean it's nothing?
I mean, it's not a person. Just get over here, and I move up towards it so I can read the signpost.
As the other two catch up with you, you see that the signpost says in bright yellow paint across a dark wooden plank, "Welcome to the village of Cornix." And then someone has draped a small but vibrant banner underneath of it. It's bright with red and purple. The lettering is in gold, and there are gold tassels hanging off of either side. And it reads, "Do not fear. Fear is a construct."
Interesting sign.
Are we sure he's nothing? And I'm gonna cast my mage hand and just send it over to poke at him.
Your mage hand goes over and pokes. Where on the scarecrow are you poking?
His belly.
Your mage hand sinks in one finger straight into the straw that is underneath this jester's tunic, and it pulls out again. You can see the head wobble just a little bit and then stop again, as if someone had just poked it.
Can I look up in the sky to see if there's still a bunch of... It was crows, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Can I see if they have maybe dissipated based on this giant crow creature? Or not creature, crow?
It's not even particularly a giant scarecrow. Like I say, it was a short signpost. This is the top half of the scarecrow. So it's standing about 6 feet, 6.5 feet tall, maybe. And if you kind of peek through the trees off to the west, you can see that the sun is still shimmering and whatnot, giving you the impression that the crows are there, but you can't see through the treetops.
That's fair. Well, shall we? I am not interested in this anymore.
Before we go, can I do a perception check? Because I feel like something might be around.
Absolutely.
I rolled a 15.
With a 15, you're able to look into the woods. You see that there is a single crow that is off in the distance, just at the very edge of your vision off to the east, that is kind of sitting on a log and pecking away at grubs there. It doesn't even seem to know that you're there. There are no other creatures that you can see, but you can hear the odd songbird or the rustling in the bushes if you really strain your ears. Standard forest sounds, the wind blowing through the leaves. And that's really it.
Okay. I'll look at the other two and be like, okay, I'm ready to move on if you all are.
Yep, let's go.
I don't think he's going to say anything else to us.
The day is bright and brilliant as you crest the hill, and as your eyes adjust to the light of the warm sun in the cool air, you are taken aback by the beautiful sight of a large valley in the shape of a shallow bowl. The bowl is nearly 30 miles across and seems to be filled with farmland, except for a small village of about 30 buildings in the exact middle. The right side of the valley is marked by a handful of lazy streams that trickle down toward the center from the mountain range, but they appear to jut off in straight lines to circle the valley in obviously man-made waterways. A latticework of roads and paths separate the fields into obvious farms, but it appears as the main road, the road you're on, is the widest, the straightest, and it goes right through the village and up the opposite side. But the strangest thing that sticks out to you are the hundreds of scarecrows that are tied at haphazard angles to the fences that line the main road. Some look like they've been here for years and are falling apart. Some look like they were lashed up just yesterday, with bright, joyful clothing and freshly painted faces on their burlap heads. Each of the scarecrows are dressed as a jester in purple and reds, blues and oranges, greens and yellows, or blacks and whites, and they're all grinning up at the sky. What would you like to do?
Oh, it looks like our buddy back there had some friends.
There's a pattern here for sure. I wonder why they're all dressed in this coloring. It's very festive.
Yeah, almost like we've missed something.
You think they just don't like crows?
They certainly are trying to keep them away. It doesn't seem ominous, though. They look pretty and cute.
Are crows scared by cute things? Is that why we don't have one?
I thought they like cute things. I thought they collect cute things.
Am I a crow? I collect cute things. Well, I guess the only thing to do is go down there and ask them, right?
Well, by the road, the only way is through. I'm getting kind of hungry, too.
Ooh, I bet they have good food down there. I did smell something yummy back there.
Are you heading then into the village?
Yes.
As the three of you get closer to the village, down this long, lazy, shallow slope towards the center of the valley, you see that most of the buildings that are around are either short, squat buildings or tall silos in the farmlands. But in the village itself, there's only one building that seems to be 3 stories tall. Most of the others are 2. There's lazy tendrils of smoke that are coming out of most of the chimneys, and the entire area of the village seems to be built almost like it's 2 concentric circles, making almost what would look like a target, I guess, if it wasn't broken up by paths and roads. But in the very, very center of it, there's a large town square, and in the center of the town square stands a gigantic wooden man. And you can see, as you get closer, that it is also dressed up like a jester.
They like really have a specific fashion around here.
This has got to be the mayor or something, right?
Has to be. It's pretty creepy, I can be honest.
Is there a lot of town folk around the town square?
That is a great question. You get in about 5 miles away. You pass underneath a banner that has been constructed on 2 long wooden posts. It's about 15 feet up in the air, and the banner is massive. And it says in giant letters, "Do not fear. Fear is a construct." But as you pass underneath, you can start to make out some of the details of what's happening in the town square. And it looks like there's a bunch of preparations going on. The jester itself seems to be smiling downward at the rest of the town square. And there are all of these tables that are being set up around it. Dozens of tables. You can see 100 or so people wandering about, laying down tablecloths, setting up decorations, hanging lanterns from posts in the center of each table, decorating a small stage off to the side with a simple painted wooden carving of a giant bundle of corn on either side of it, and then other little fall and harvest themed decorations going up all around. But the majority of the decorations are scarecrows, specifically scarecrow jesters of all sizes are littered around the area, some peering out of windows, some lining porches, and the boardwalk that lines either side of the town square, which is really a circle, is just littered with these as well. Some are actively being placed around and among the tables. It's clear that this village is getting ready for a festival.
Well, Orla, I think we know exactly what's going on here. We're totally staying for this party, right?
You have to.
Emora, it's going to be fine. Don't look so worried.
All right. She's going to keep glancing over her shoulder, just kind of having her head on a swivel.
Do you think we have to put on one of those like outfits though?
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really clashes with my hair.
Same.
Does there seem to be a person directing people in this town square that look like they're more like in charge?
As you are getting closer and closer, riding in, you see that there are, sure enough, a handful of people that seem to be barking orders, but there doesn't seem to be one person orchestrating it all. It seems to be little clusters of decorations with 2 or 3 people working together and one person kind of calling the shots. What you would expect to see with a large group of people that have kind of separated off to do different aspects of decorating and preparation, but there's no one person that appears to be in charge here. What you also see is a number of children, like 40 kids, running around, seeming to chase each other in and around where this massive wooden man has been constructed. There's the sounds of children laughter as well as a lot of screams. But you know that children scream when they're having fun, the thing that panics everybody and they go over to take a look and then the kid looks at you like, "What? I was just playing." Those screams, and lots of them. As you get into the town square, you'll see that there seems to be apartments on the outside circle that surrounds it, and on the inside seems to be where the majority of the shops are. In the inner circle here, you can see a general store, a leather worker's shop, an inn with some stables at the side and behind it as well, a butcher, a storefront that just says repairs, a tavern, a bakery, and a house with 3 front doors that read seamstress, scribe, and school on each one respectively.
Well, I'm hungry. Do you want to go get some food?
Yes.
Sure.
And then I guess we can ask somebody like what this festival is.
Yeah. My vote is the bakery. Let's go check out the bakery. Maybe they're baking stuff for the festival.
Oh, yeah. That might be
Yeah,
that
good
yummy
point.
smell we smelled earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The bakery is a small house. It's been painted blue. It's very clearly like the bottom section is the bakery itself with the kitchens in the back and kind of a storefront in the front half of it with like apartments above. Probably you would assume where the baker lives, possibly with a family. When you walk in, there's a little bell above the door that jingles, and there are a number of people standing around kind of surveying the sweet treats that are on display. There's a lot of pies, but there's mostly different kinds of cornbread, and they all seem to be flavored, some with molasses, some with cinnamon, some with people colloquially call halfling spices, which are very kind of an umami kind of taste to them as well. It smells delicious in here, and behind the counter is a big Goliath He has no shirt on, but he has an apron. He's sweating from the heat of the kitchen behind him, and he seems completely overwhelmed trying to help people with their orders. You can assume that this is a baker who is normally not this busy year-round, but today of all days, he is swamped.
Cool.
Ooh. So are we just going to get like one of everything, or what do you guys think?
Absolutely. We might as well try it all. Can we wait in line? It looks like there's maybe a bit of a queue.
Yes, absolutely. There are probably 20 people in here that are milling about, and the lineup is only about 8 people deep. By the time that you get up to the counter, there is a hefty sigh that's coming out of this man's mouth. And he looks down at the three of you and says, "Oh, what can I get you?"
Orla, you pick.
Can we get one of everything, please?
One of everything.
Yeah, it all looks so good. We just cannot decide.
His jaw has nearly hit the countertop. And he stands up again and says, "You from out of town?"
Yeah.
"I want to warn you, you do not want one of everything. I know you may think you want one of everything, but you do not want one of everything. The Fearless Feast is tonight, and if you fill up now, you will not be able to partake."
What is the Fearless Feast?
He looks at the line behind you, and then he looks around at everyone else that's in here, and the people are kind of looking at you strangely. You've clearly just ridden into town. Nobody recognizes you, and you are asking now, what is the Fearless Feast? He just kind of takes a deep sigh and says, "I don't want to be rude, but this is the busiest day of the year for me, and I don't have a lot of opportunity to sit here and socialize. If you find me during the feast, I will happily talk your ear off. But for now, please, if you have questions, I would say the best person to talk to would probably be, Serafina. She runs the inn. And I'm assuming that you've already met her."
No, we came right here.
And he smiles kind of proudly for a moment. And he says, "You know what? One moment." And he hands each one of you a pistachio tart.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And says, "Please take these on the house for newcomers and go speak to Serafina. She will have all the information."
I've already got it shoved in my mouth. And so, like, through the crumb, like, okay.
What's your name?
"My name here." And he kind of like shrugs and sighs for a moment and says, "Don't laugh.
Okay.
They call me Long Fingers." And sure enough, when you look at his hands are absolutely massive.
That's a respectable name.
And he raises his voice and says, "A respectable name," she says, announcing it to everyone in the bakery, and some of the others chuckle and laugh. One young dwarf in the back calls out and says, "I guess she doesn't know you that well then." And that gets a larger laugh. Clearly everyone in here is friendly, and most of them know each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we won't waste any more of your time. As I turn, I say thank you. And then I just want to scan the crowd for anyone that doesn't look like they're super impressed by outsiders. Like that might be looking at us a bit more critically versus jovially because of the festival.
Can I get a perception check from you, please?
16.
As you scan the faces, you can see that there is someone that's peering in through the window that you think might be looking at you for a moment. But what they're really doing is just cupping their face against the window and looking at the pies. And it is kind of a teenager, probably someone that doesn't have money of their own yet, who's just looking at the pies kind of ravenously, wishing that they could have some. Everyone else seems to be fairly comfortable with the fact that you're there. Everyone is in very high spirits. And you'll even notice with your perception check, as high as it is, that some of them are wearing like jester's clothes, but not like a hat. There's no makeup or anything. They're just wearing like a jester's tunic and pants with their regular farm boots.
Oh, gosh. I pointed out, like, see, I don't know. I'm not wearing that.
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Is there anything else you'd like to do in here?
I hope to see your long fingers later tonight. And I just sort of step off.
He waves his very, very large hand at you as you step away, and then immediately goes to the next customer in line. And you can hear him say, "Good season this season." And then, "Oh, yes, of course. Well, after the weather we've had," and they get into, basic small talk as they're ordering their food. When you step outside the bakery, the very first thing that you notice is a short dwarven woman. She looks very, very old, and she is kneeling down in front of a dwarven toddler. And you can imagine that dwarven toddler is tiny, not much bigger than the size of a small dog, and the toddler is crying. The poor little thing is also in a jester outfit with a little jester hat that's held on by a ribbon under the chin, but the child is crying and shying away from a particularly creepy-looking scarecrow that's been propped up against the side of the bakery. And the dwarven woman is sitting there, clearly a grandmotherly type, but with dwarves, it could be great-grandmother. They've got quite long lifespans. So she's sitting down and going, no, shh. Remember, do not fear. Fear is a construct. We talked about this. It's just a scarecrow. And she pats it, and like pretty hard, and the head kind of like lolls around on its shoulders and then stops at a weird angle with the face pointing kind of upwards. And she goes, see, look, it's nothing. Nothing to be scared of. Fear is a construct. And the little child doesn't care. Just hands out, pick me up, please. I'm scared. I want to leave. And so she kind of tisks and scoops up the child, smiles at the three of you, and wanders off behind the bakery, down the little road to where the houses are lined up in the outer ring.
Should we head on to the inn?
Agreed.
Yeah.
The inn is on the other side of this town square, and you have the choice of either walking through the tables and the decorations that are being set up, or around the boardwalk if you'd like.
Shall we do the boardwalk so we could just kind of check things out as we go?
I'm all for that.
Yeah, we should probably just let those people set up. Go around.
As you pass by, you see the storefront. The next one that you pass is the one that just says repairs on a sign in it. There's a bunch of small items in the window that look like they were cracked or broken at one point, but have been put together by glue, nailed back together. It's mostly wooden items, but there are some metal things in there as well that have seams and little bolts and rivets on it. It's mostly trinkets, and the largest thing that you would see is like a chair in there. As you keep going, you pass by the butcher. It smells like a whole bunch of roasted ham, specifically, that is wafting out of the butcher. And then you pass by the house with the three doors that say seamstress, scribe, and school. And the front of the house, you can see, is absolutely covered and decorated in little like children's drawings of corn or jesters or what looks like this tall wooden statue that is in the middle of the town square. As you continue around, unless you guys want to do anything with any of these stores?
No, I don't.
I sort of peek into the repair one as a gnome. Tinkering is my innate interest. But just sort of like I'll slow down a few steps behind them and like peer in and look at things, and then see that the girls have went way ahead of me and like run up after them.
You see that there is what looks like a brass or a bronze. You can't quite make it out through the window here. Dragonborn that is standing there arguing with a tiefling. The tiefling is wearing an apron and has some tools sticking out of it. And the Dragonborn is holding what looks like a pocket watch and waving it at the tiefling. And the tiefling is shrugging a clearly defensive pose as the two of them argue.
I just sort of run after the girls and be like, ooh, something was happening in there.
As you continue around, you will notice that there are those children that were running around the feet of this large statue. And I'm going to say it is 80 feet tall. It's very, very large. And the children that are running around the feet are of all different kinds. You're seeing mostly humans. You would say maybe 60% are humans, but there are dwarves and halfling children. There are tieflings and Aasimar and Dragonborn. It's quite the mixture here. And as you continue moving around, you see that the majority of them have masks. And some of them are wearing crow masks, and some of them are dressed as jesters. Most of them are wearing crow masks, and you would see that probably 90% of them are adorned like crows. They even have little black pieces of fabric hanging off of their shirts as if these are costumes. The jesters are dancing and singing and jumping at the crows, and they all seem to be chasing each other back and forth. The crows seem to be working together to scare the jesters, and the jesters are each trying to loudly scream and laugh and dance at the crows to make them all scatter. Every once in a while, an adult gets startled as they set something up for the community gathering, but they laugh it off and they shoo the kids away, and this seems to be an accepted part of just the day's festivities here. And that's when you get to the inn. The inn is called the Rook and Reverie. And there are two large doors at the front that seem to be made of heavy wood. This is the only 3-story structure in the entire village.
Well, it looks like you pick a side. You're either the jester or this crow.
Oh. Well, I do like the crow's outfit better.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, what does this mean? I need some answers.
Of course you do. Let's go.
Mm.
As you open the doors, you can see that the inside of the inn is brightly lit. However, the fireplace that's over in the corner only has a small fire. It's warm enough in here just from the bodies. The bottom level here seems to be some sort of small, simple restaurant, and you immediately get hit in the face with the smell of food. It mostly smells like breads and meats. There's no liquor or anything that you can see. You're not going to see any mead or wine or beer. People seem to just be drinking water, if anything. But it is just a pure restaurant. There's a little podium right inside the door, but there's nobody standing there. You can see that kind of against the back wall, there's a stage, but it's empty. It's a very small stage. And there are a couple of children sitting behind the podium. You would say like a 4-year-old that seems to be tending a 50-month-old child.
Who did that long finger guy tell us to talk to again?
Seraphina.
Well, I guess we should go find her. See if we can find any of those answers you want, Emora.
Can you explain again where is this woman again with the baby?
There's no woman. It is just two children behind the podium.
Lord. I'm gonna go over and say hi.
And the little 4-year-old is a boy, and he looks straight up at you and goes, "Hi, what?"
Well, that was rather rude, but do you know where we can find Miss Seraphina?
Yeah.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Can you go get her?
I'm not supposed to. I stay with Obi. And he points at the little bassinet.
Okay. Will she be back soon?
And he just kind of shrugs. Oh.
All right, I'm losing my patience.
This is why I don't have children.
He stops for a moment and he looks back up at you and he kind of sees you for the first time and he notices that you're not humans. And he sees Orla first and goes, "Are you a kid?"
No. Are you an adult?
No.
Oh.
Are you guys venturers?
What
Yeah?
do you think?
And he kind of like smiles with a great big grin and goes, "Yeah, you fight monsters."
Only scary ones.
Oh, okay. You'll notice that these are the only kids that you have seen here that are not dressed up. And as you're sitting here talking to this little 4-year-old, a really harried-looking human woman comes scampering over, out of breath, and she scoops him up and says, "Stop bothering them. Ladies, hello, hi, and welcome to the Rook and Reverie. My name is Seraphina. Can I get you a meal? Are you looking for a room? What can I do to help you with? Clearly, you have been traveling for some time."
Well, we were told to not eat too much because there's a big feast later.
And she smiles and says, "So they tell me."
Do you know anything about this feast? We're just very curious about what's going on here.
And she nods and says, "Absolutely, but first, are you looking to stay or do you want to sit down? There are a couple of people that are like trying to push past you to get out the door."
Oh, I guess we should have a seat, huh? Or I guess we should stay. I feel like are we interested in trying to figure this out, ladies?
Well, if we're gonna stay for the feast, we'll probably need to sleep that off tonight.
I wouldn't mind spending at least one night in an inn. I'm a little tired of my tent. So yes, we're going to stay.
Okay, I have for you good news and bad news.
Oh.
The good news is that I have absolutely basement bottom rates for you, and that's a pun because the bad news is the only room that I have left is in the basement. And it's not that it's a bad room by any means, it's just not a traditional room because we store a lot of our furniture down there and it doesn't get used very often, but we are just jammed for the feast tonight. So I can put the three of you down there in the one main storeroom, or I guess I could split up one or two of you into the smaller storeroom if you'd like. But that's really the only accommodations that I have. I promise you'll be well taken care of. It'll be warm. It'll be quiet. It will be everything that you would expect out of an inn, and full mattresses, full beds. Like I say, the furniture is down there. It's just not a traditional room per se, but I'll give it to you at a massive discount. What do you women say?
Do we have a separate entrance?
There actually is a cellar door on the side. We tend to keep it locked, but if you're going to be coming and going, we can give you the key to it.
I think that would be helpful.
Sounds good to me.
A bed is better than a tent.
And she smiles at you and tells you each that normally it is 1.5 gold pieces. She's going to give it to you guys for a half gold piece each for the night. And that's going to come with a little bit of breakfast in the morning as well. There will be some sort of hot tea, and there will be eggs. Goose eggs, if you don't mind them.
Not at all. We don't have to worry about ghosts or anything in the basement, do we? Oh.
She kind of laughs and says, no. And we don't use the G word around the little ones. And she looks down, and it's very clearly that the child in her arm was not paying attention, kind of squirming. So she says, it's perfectly safe down there. I promise you. There hasn't been an issue for the entire 7 months that we've been here. So
No, I believe you. Just poking fun.
I'm going to insight her.
Yep.
Oh, I probably should have done that.
Well, I rolled a nat 1 for a 3.
Blind optimism. That's all we have.
Yeah.
I think that you're mostly distracted by the fact you finally get to sleep in a bed. And there will be like a real meal in front of you. And that's going to be a major distraction. And it just makes you want to trust these people.
That's fair. One other question, Seraphina, is we're seeing a lot of kids dressed up as either jesters or crows. What is the meaning behind the two outfits?
And she like leans close and lowers her voice and says, I know, right? Like, what a strange little... Okay, so we've only been here a handful of months. We inherited the inn from my husband's great uncle who just passed away in his sleep. Nothing strange, or there's no accident. But we inherited this. We thought we would, make a better living here than we would as farmers. And sure enough, we have been. But Cornix is just a quaint little village that's normal. It seems like all year round, except for this festival. It's so strange. Everyone is so focused on the idea of fear. You'll see the scarecrows and then the crows. And as far as I can tell, there's some legend, some story that every time I ask, they say, just wait for story time at the end of the feast and everything will be made clear. She's like, it's such a strange little, and everyone's happy and they wink when they say it, right? Like they don't want to spoil the surprise for me. But I've been watching them build that structure, that statue out front for the best part of a month now. And it's absolutely just, it's baffling. I think my husband might know more. Let me get the keys. Do you girls want to grab a seat somewhere? And if you can find one, and I will come by with menus for you if you'd like a little bite of something. And then I can get your bags, whatever you would like, downstairs into the basement.
Oh yeah, we could sit down for a little bit. We have been walking for quite a while, ladies.
I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
There is a table. It's kind of small. It's really a 2-person table, but the 3 of you are able to kind of gather around it. It's up against the wall near the stage in the back. And she comes by with some keys for you for the back, like, cellar door. And it's going to be one of those big, like, stereotypical cellar doors, the big double door that's heavy that you got to pull all the way up that you would see on the side that goes down to most like root cellars and whatnot. And so she hands you this little key ring. It's only got the one key on it. And then she says that she's going to take whatever bags you would like her to take, and she'll go set them down in the room if you'd like, and set up 3 beds. Is it just the 3 of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. When she takes your bags and disappears, she also drops 3 menus off for you. And the menus are very simple. There is a corn-based soup. There is a cornbread-based sandwich. And there is a corn pudding. And that's it.
All this corn. There's a variety of plants and other things that can be eaten.
They do really like their corn around here, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any drinks?
What you see is water. And that's it.
Mm.
You can tell the tavern is where you're going to get a full menu. This is just them having a little gathering area, probably mostly drawn to the stage. So more of like a performance area where they put some tables down and with a little kitchen in the back, they're serving what they can. But this is not a full-blown restaurant.
Okay.
Who's sitting close by to us?
It is absolutely jam-packed with a ton of different kinds of people, but most of them look like they are wearing sturdier, heavier leathers. A couple of them are smoking pipes. There are swords, daggers, axes that are attached to hips. Battle axes and bows are leaning up against tables. You can see a great sword is laying across the lap of one man that's over by the far side of the room. And there are just, as you look around, adventurers, tons of them. I'd say the nearest person to you seems to be an Aasimar woman and a blue dragonborn who are having a conversation with a human.
Does it look like a serious conversation, or would it be easy to kind of jump in and see?
I would say that it's not serious at all. You'd be able to just tell from a glance that the human and the Aasimar are teasing the blue dragonborn, and the blue dragonborn is laughing as well. Like, this is all well-natured. They seem to be friends.
Okay. I'd like to just kind of lean over to try and catch their eye line and ask them, hello there. We're just passing through. Are you the same?
And the Aasimar kind of raises an eyebrow and says, oh, why, hello. And yes, we are passing through after the festival. How are you doing, my dear?
Oh, God. I am great. Did you come here for the festival? We're kind of caught off guard by it.
Well, we timed our travels to be here specifically for this night, hoping to get something a little interesting. We knew that the festival was going to happen. Have you not seen the leaflets?
Nope.
Oh.
And she reaches into a pocket and pulls out a crumpled piece of paper and hands it to you. And it is very, very simple writing on it. It looks like it was hand drawn by someone with a little bit of skill with the quill, but not a whole lot. This is not a professional job by any means. And all it says is, please come to Cornix. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Do not fear. Fear is a construct. And then at the bottom, it says, Fear Festival, and then the Fearless Feast, and then today's date.
They are really obsessed with fear around here.
Yeah.
She says, we've been through Cornix over and over and over again. We've never been able to actually get to be here during the festival, but we hear it's quite the feast. It's not so much a festival as it is just a feast and some minor performances on the stage, but this is their custom. Most of the time, it's not a big deal. When they have their midwinter festival, there's nothing about fear there. We've been here for that one. They've got apparently a springtime one where everything is themed like sunflowers. There's nothing at all about fear in that one. And we were here for the mayor's 300th birthday, and that was just a great big party. The blue dragonborn shakes his head and goes, oh, and so much corn liquor. And the Aasimar says, so we just wanted to come see this one because it's their big, pre-winter festival that they're the most proud of, because it's based in some legend, something about fending off some kind of crow beast, hence the scarecrows and the crow masks and all this. They kind of laugh and shake their heads at the quaint little customs of this little village.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know who that, giant statue guy is?
They call him FNG Jack, and we don't know what FNG stands for, but we're hoping to find out tonight. We're actually taking bets on it. Do you ladies want in?
FNG?
FNG Jack.
Yep, I want to bet on that.
All right, what's your guess?
I'm going to say it. I cast message to Orla.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that popped into my head was finger with FNG.
Oh, I also have message, so I will respond with that. And Orla's twirling her hair around her finger as she's thinking. Do you think that's just because we met the finger guy and you're still thinking about him?
Thinking about the fingers?
Yeah, they were very long fingers.
They were.
What if it means fear?
Fear? Like the F?
Yeah.
Fear.
Fear no good.
Yeah, I was thinking fear no something. Fear no good? Fear
God? Fear.
I like that. I turn around and I'm just weirdly staring at Orla for
We're just making intense eye contact.
and then I turn back to the table. Fear no God.
Fear no God. The human goes, see, that's what I said. Fear no God. It makes the most sense. And then turns, you two are idiots. And the Aasimar says, I'm not an idiot. That's just not a good guess. And they go back and forth, back into this. And then they turn and look at the Dragonborn and said, better than what he guessed. The human guessed fear no gods specifically. And so that'll be slightly different. And if it's just one god, then you guys will win. If the Aasimar gets her way, it will be feast and gaiety, Jack. But the Dragonborn just says FNG is just fucking Jack.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. So are we going to put down, Miaca, are we going to put down Emora for fucking Jack as well?
Yeah.
All right. And the Dragonborn feels very fucking vindicated. So you sit there, and finally our hostess, Serafina, ends up coming back. She takes your orders. And are you going to hang out with this trio as well, or are you going to go back to your own conversation at your own table?
I'm not super social, so I wouldn't carry it on. But if Emora and Orla do, I would be okay.
I would ask what their names are first, and then kind of ask like where they're coming from, what kind of like adventures they've been on, you know.
The Dragonborn's name is Shamiro. It's short for a name that you will never be able to pronounce. And then she actually turns to Velindra and says this whole like 25 syllable long name. And Velindra, you understand that it means like glory in the presence of intense battle, but with a certain amount of piety and humbleness. The definition itself is incredibly long. It's an insane name, but he goes by Shamiro. The Aasimar is Alfari, and the human is Jonali. Alfari seems to be incredibly interested in Velindra.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask about like any adventures that they've been on, just kind of making small talk and seeing what else I could get out of them that they know about Cornix, if I could.
You want to give me a persuasion check?
Yeah.
I'm just going to eat my tart.
I rolled a 5.
They are going to end up telling you a couple of stories. At one point, they faced off against a gnarly earth elemental last year. A couple of years before that, they have all been made ladies of a court. It's off on a kingdom on an island that you've never heard of as well. They can't produce any papers, but they all seem to have a story that corroborates. There's nothing, like, it's interesting little stories, but there's nothing that's really going to focus on Cornix itself, except the fact that they ride through it a lot. It's one of the friendliest little villages that they've ever run across, and they're always welcome here with open arms. They're actually pretty upset to know that the previous inn owner had passed away, but these new humans seem to be fine. They seem to be friendly enough. I mean, too many kids for their tastes, but...
There are a lot of children here. I mean, I know it's a town, I know people live here, and I know there's a festival, but lots of children. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing so many children running around.
Also, they shrug and say, there are a lot of little cottages and whatnot. I'm sure you saw little paths and stuff that are going up the side of the valley and out into the woods. There's a lot of these little huts, and I don't want to say that there's a healthy population of like hermits here, but there are, I would call them woods peoples. And they point at a furbolg in the corner, and there's a couple of elves as well. And they're like, there's just people that live out in the forest that are in town right now. And I think if you're going to come to a festival that's based around, you know, wearing costumes and having a feast, you'll bring your kids, right?
Right. Can I also, I just have a feeling, I'm just going to sit back and kind of look around where we are, since there's a lot of people coming in and out. Can I do like a perception check to see if there's anyone that's standing out that looks a little off or weird?
Yeah, give me an insight check. This wouldn't necessarily be perception. Insight to kind of get the idea. And while you're doing that, Orla, what are you doing while all this is going on?
Orla was also going to finish her pastry, but she already ate like half of it. So it doesn't take her as long as Velindra does. And she is looking at the stage and kind of looking around to see if there's any like posters or indication of like what time people are going to be at, like using the stage.
There is a little stool that's up on the stage with a booklet on top of it, little leather bound thing with a looks like a pencil, and you would assume that that's probably a ledger that's got all this information. You don't see anything. All of the posters that you see, all the decorations, everything is geared towards the Fearless Feast.
Do any of the posters say what time the Fearless Feast starts?
Yes, it starts at sundown.
I rolled an 18 for my insight.
You notice that there's not really anything that is sticking out to you. Like, nobody is acting strangely. It's just a room full of happy people that are like happy travelers that are kind of mingling about, but mostly staying to themselves. It would be at this point, though, that you glance out the window and you see a girl. She's got to be like 9 years old, a human, and she is standing there covered in blood and crying.
Oh. I'm gonna kind of sit up and say, hey, and get their attention and point out the window. Like, I think she's hurt.
She's back about 20 feet from the back of the house. You guys can see right through the window that's by your table that she seems to be sitting there alone. There is a large stump beside her that is also covered in blood. And she is just sitting there, like, openly crying, just with no one around.
Is she dressed like a jester or a crow?
No.
Oh, geez, that doesn't look good.
We should, like, go help, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and kind of like lead the way out, go see what's going on.
There is a back door that you can go to as well. You can see that Seraphina is busy taking orders at another table and does not, like, no one really notices the three of you heading to the back door, except for Alfrey, who is clearly watching as Velindra walks away.
Calm yourself.
All right, yeah, we're heading out to see what's going on with this child.
The back door opens, and there are about 4 or 5 steps that head down. And now you are sitting in kind of like a dirt yard back here. There are a bunch of geese that are kind of waddling around, avoiding this girl. There are some stables. You can see the building behind her, and it smells a little bit like a barnyard back here. And she is just standing there by herself. Nearby, there is a gate that is open.
As I'm, walking over there, I'm gonna call out and say, "Hey, are you all right?"
She's going to jump, startled, and just break completely down into tears. No.
Oh, gosh. What happened?
He said it would be okay. It wasn't okay.
Who?
And then at that moment, you hear a very angry sound of a man's voice coming from around the side of the house.
Uh-oh.
Hey, get your ass back here. And that is when you see a large goose with 3 heads come careening around the side of the building through the gate.
Oh my God.
It is screeching. It's trying to flap its wings at you, but its wings have been clipped. You can see that they're shorter than a normal goose's wings, just like all of the other geese that are here. One of its heads has been replaced by a bloody stump that is actively spurting blood. It rushes at you.
Ew.
The girl screams and jumps back.
Clearly not her blood, then, I don't think.
What would you guys like to do? Let's roll initiative. I'd like to know who's going to react first to this.
I'm gonna kill this thing. I rolled a 15.
Orla and Velindra?
Velindra, 6.
As per usual, Casey.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I was trying to roll on D&D Beyond, and it's not working. We're gonna have a dice real quick. 8.
All right. Emora, you're first. Then Orla, and then Velindra. What would you like to do?
Did you say if anyone was chasing this thing? Have we seen them yet? Or we
You
just heard the
an
voice?
angry man's voice from around the corner, at the same corner where this goose has run out from, and then into, like, through the gate, and it's charging the 3 of you, honking and snapping its bill and coming right at you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to cast Ice Knife straight at this thing.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
She's not fucking around.
Apparently.
I will just roll this at a regular level 1. Does an 11 hit?
Oh, yes. The 11 hits. The 11 hits the angry goose.
Let's see for right now. Rolled a 9. 9 damage.
How do you want to do it?
Whoops.
This is the goose. Yeah.
It's just gonna explode.
The goose just explodes?
Yes.
So the way that Ice Knife works is you shoot this little knife. It's like an icicle, and it hits the goose square on, and then it explodes and attacks every other creature around it in a radius. Fortunately, the child had jumped back. You would have murdered the kid.
Oh, Jesus.
However, what you've managed to do is explode this, severing the head of the goose, and then these little ice shards go and sever the neck and the head of the other neck and head as well. And with all 3 heads removed and a bunch of icicles sticking out of it, it falls to the ground, dead, and like kind of skids to a halt at your feet. And that is when a human man runs around the corner carrying a bloody hatchet, and he stops and sees the 3 of you, and then looks at the girl and looks at the goose and then back at the girl, and he runs right over, dropping the hatchet, and scoops her up in his arms and says, "Shh, no. It's okay. Just next time, you have to hold it tightly when you hold it down." And she's like, "I didn't know. I'm so sorry, Daddy." And she starts to cry. And he looks at the 3 of you and says, "I'm sorry. She got startled. We're trying to prepare the goose for the feast tonight, and figured she was old enough to help with the preparations, but apparently not, and that's okay too. And we are going to," and he looks down at this absolutely pulverized goose. "I guess I will get another one, and I'm going to take her inside to her mother first." And the daughter just kind of nods with her face buried, and he says, "Are you 3 staying here?"
Yeah, you got some explaining to do. We'll wait for you.
"I've got some explaining to do." He looks down at the like meat puddle that Emora has made. It's just meat and feathers at this point, and he goes, "Yeah, we will have a talk. I will be back in a moment." He kind of laughs and carries her inside.
Oh! Before you go, I think I can help.
Yes?
And I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation to clean the little girl off, so she is no longer covered in goose blood.
He sits there, like he stops for a moment, like, and he smiles up at you, and he kind of crouches down and puts her down on the ground and says, "See, look, there's nothing here. You're fine. Does anything hurt?" And she goes, "No." Like, "Yeah, you're fine. It was just scary, right?" "Yeah." Like, "All right. So let's go inside. We're going to take a deep breath." And she's like calming herself now, still kind of sniffling a little bit. And he looks up at you and says, "Thank you. Thank you." And he says, "Say thank you to the nice lady." "Thank you."
Oh, no problem. Nobody should be covered in goose blood.
And he said, "Yeah, that's right. Nobody. And it will be fine now." And he scoops her up again and carries her inside. He's only gone for a moment. But what would the 3 of you like to do?
I'm going to turn and say, this town's weird.
I'm going to use Prestidigitation for us. Because I absolutely was not going to clean the girl. I was just going to clean us up. So, Orla is better.
Well, she's more my size, so, you know.
I'm going to say thank you. And like, maybe I overdid it with that spell.
Yeah. Do those birds always have 3 heads?
That's what I would like to ask him about, because these ones, and I look at the ones around our feet that were out the back door, they were normal looking geese, right?
Oh, no, they all have 3 heads. You just didn't do a perception check.
Oh. Well, maybe I can fix this one, and I'm going to attempt to cast Mending on it.
Okay, it's technically an object because it's a corpse now. I will let you heal the wounds, but not, and like seal the neck stumps so they're not bleeding anymore, but the heads aren't going back on.
Okay.
They're now separate objects.
I'm just trying to make it slightly less destroyed.
Yeah, I'll give this to you. It's not how mending works, but I will give this to you. So after a moment or so, he comes back out and he looks down and like raises an eyebrow at this goose, and he like picks it up by the legs and holds it upside down and just kind of, you know, drags his eyes back and forth and goes, Did you fix it?"
Yeah, it's like perfectly fine now.
"It appears to be. All right, we can add it to the feast. Yeah, you said I had some explaining to do. I would like to also know, who are you and what happened?"
Well, do all of the geese in Cornix have 3 heads?
Most of them. It's one of the things that they're known for here. Sometimes they're born with 2, sometimes 4, but like I would say 95% of them.
See, I feel like that's what the statue should have been along the road, to warn people.
To warn people of geese?
Of the multiple-headed geese. It's very startling.
And he smiles and says, you're really not from around here, are you?
No, usually when things have more than one head, it's not good.
I will take your word for it. It was one of the handful of things that we had to adjust to when we came here as well. And he holds his hand out. My name is Malachi, and I own the inn. I guess you've met my wife already.
We have.
Well, I'm sorry for little Adelia's outburst there. That was probably something that we should not have done this early. She's a sensitive child, but normally she puts on a braver face than that. I just don't think she was expecting that amount of blood to get on her.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking this over to the butcher?
Yes.
Do you need a hand?
I wouldn't say no.
Because now we've got 2 heads and a body to deal with.
Well, the heads we were just going to pickle. I don't like it, but apparently some of the Dragonborn tend to. So is it a delicacy where you're from?
Well, I wouldn't generalize that. No, I do not want to eat this.
I feel half the time like I've gone crazy in this place. Everyone has they're completely normal every day, but then there's like just little weird idiosyncrasies with them. And he kind of like laughs and shrugs and says, like the scarecrows. And he's now walking towards the butcher, expecting you to come with him. Are all 3 of you going to go, or just Velindra?
Oh, yeah, I'll follow Velindra.
Yeah, same.
You're going to hear him kind of pop off, but these fucking scarecrows, these are the scariest things. If I was a kid living in a town like this and there were this many scarecrows, I would fill the valley with my tears. I would be so terrified of them. Who thought that this was a good idea? And yet everybody thinks it's normal. And he just kind of like pops off about how strange the customs are here. And no one will tell me what story time is. Apparently it's this grand secret they're excited to reveal to us. It's very odd.
So you're experiencing it for the first time tonight. This fear festival as well.
Yeah. I'm telling you now, if one more of these children these children jump out in a freaking jester mask and try to scare me, I'm gonna punt a kid. I swear to God, I'm gonna punt a kid.
I won't blame you.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I honestly think a lot of the children are weird here. Not yours, but a lot of weird energy.
I mean, they're the nicest people. They've been so welcoming to our family. I hesitate to say anything negative about them, but it's very bizarre. Depending on how tonight goes, will determine whether or not we stay for another year. I don't want my kids to grow up weird.
That's
Have you noticed they don't even have a temple here?
well, we haven't seen enough of the town to know that for sure.
Well,
It's strange.
yeah, it's very odd. And at this point, you guys have gotten to the front door of the butcher, and he kind of nods and says, are you going to come in?
Oh, heck yes. I want to see what the hell is going to go in this feast, because maybe I'm eating not what I'm expecting.
Oh,
And-
that's a good point.
As you go in, can I get perception checks from everybody?
Sure. I got a 15.
Belinda rolled a nat 20 for 25.
So it's not combat, so you get to roll high.
I got a 17.
All 3 of you can see the fact that there's almost nothing on any shelves. There's some smoked meats that are like under a glass counter, and there is a ledger and a whole bunch of like brown paper with string as well, to, package up meat and whatnot when it's handed across. But there's a large open archway that heads into the back area, and it is just gory as hell back there. You can see it's essentially a slaughterhouse. And there are a couple of women's voices that you can hear going back and forth. And someone says, I think I heard the door. And then someone else goes, well, I'm in the middle of this. Well, I'm in the middle of this. And they go back and forth. And finally, one moment. And then you see a short, very muscular orc come through the arch. She's wearing a thick leather apron that is just covered in stains, like blood stains. And she is wiping her hands off with a rag. And she says, just one moment, please. And you watch her cast prestidigitation on herself, and it cleans her right up. And she looks at the 4 of you standing there and says, another goose for the night. We can get this off to the cooks as soon as we get it cleaned out. Thank you so much. Malachi, who are your friends? And he says, it's funny, I didn't get your names.
I will introduce myself, not shake anyone's hand at all, though.
She says, are you from out of town? Clearly here for the feast?
Oh, yeah. And I'll say, as I'm saying, I'm Orla, and I'm going to send my mage hand over to shake her hand. Instead of my own.
She's gonna smile at this funny little interaction, but she's not startled by the magic. She just shakes it and says, nice to meet you, Orla. And you are? And she looks at Emora.
I would just say Emora, and just kind of nod.
She says, are you here to inspect the food? Do you have any specific dietary restrictions, or is it a religious thing?
Oh, we were just super curious because where we're from, geese only have one head. So we were just wondering what other kinds of things you guys have.
Oh, you think that's weird? Wait till you see the pigs.
Orla's eyes just get really big.
And then a second orc steps out. She's quite a bit larger than this one. Says, ignore my daughter, please. She's just messing with you. The pigs are completely normal. And the first one that came through that smiled at you and introduced or started talking to you guys first, smiles and turns around and goes back through the arch. And the larger orc says, what can we do for you here today? As you can imagine, we're quite busy, but Malachi, aren't you guys bursting right now with customers? And he nods and says, yeah, I should get back here pretty quickly, but they wanted to meet you.
Yes. Am I able to roll an insight on their casualness about the pigs and the heads?
Yeah.
That's gonna be 20, not natural.
It was absolutely a joke. They were messing with the new people.
All right. Yeah, can I just have a peek back there? I just want to see you at work. Then we'll be on our way.
It's a little strange, but sure, why not? She motions this little glass counter that's there. Doesn't have sides on. You can walk around and just follow her. Is it just you going?
I think I'm going to stay in the front of the store. Kind of poke around at stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sort of look around at all the shelves and displays and what they have.
You see,
out.
I'll tell you right now, you're going to see a bunch of tags for empty shelves. And it's going to be mostly cuts of ham and pork. There's going to be a small section for beef, a small section for venison, and then everything else is going to be fowl or rabbits. So there's just a lot of ham and fowl and rabbits, which is also what Velindra is going to see when she turns the corner. There are about 20 hollowed out slaughtered pigs that are loaded up into a hand cart, a series of hand carts. There's also about 40 different plucked geese and a number of different conies as well, which are rabbits for those that don't know. So they are kind of hanging by strings from a ceiling, and everything is loaded up there. There's a really muscly looking green tiefling who is looking at the carts and going, all right, I think we're about ready to get the cooking started. And then sees another goose coming in, being held by Malachi, and says, okay, all right, I'm going to take these. I'll come back for the last little scraps then. And there's a big bay door that he starts pulling the cart out, and he's straining. He's pulling the first cart towards wherever they're going to be cooking these. But it all looks like there's a ton of food, and it's on the up and up.
All right. Well, yeah, everybody's so busy. Hey, who would I talk to about the organizer of this whole festival?
They kind of look at each other, and then they look back at you, and they go, "It's not really an organizer. Everybody pitches in and does their own thing. We just know what Jack would want."
Jack? Sorry?
They kind of smile, and Malachi says, the big wooden fellow in the town square.
Yeah. Jack. All right. Is he a real man?
Not anymore. And Malachi's eyes go wide and go, oh, what, was he real? Is this based on a real person? And they all just the rest of them all smile at each other, the orcs and the tiefling, and they just say, you'll see.
That's what everyone keeps saying. Hey, Malachi?
I'm starting to get tired of the you'll see, if I can be honest. And he turns around kind of annoyed and turns to leave.
All right, I'll follow. All right, I'll leave you to it. When I come back to the front, I was like, Emora, I think it is fucking Jack that's behind all of this. And I kind of nod my head towards the giant wooden statue outside.
Did you learn anything about this guy?
Of course not. Everyone's so cagey about it. I don't get it. But he may have been somebody at some point, but not anymore, whatever that means.
Did the crow get him?
Could be. The crow beast.
Yeah, but there's more people, at least the children are dressed like crows than jesters, and they have fucking Jack here dressed as a jester. You would think they would be celebrating the jesters, more so than the crow, but I could be wrong. I could be reading into it a bit.
You'd think they'd all be a little funnier
Mm.
with all the jester costumes. I always thought they were supposed to be funny.
Right. Like, jesters are supposed to make you laugh, but here it's just very creepy. It's off-putting.
Agreed.
Malachi's going to agree as well. He's going to say that he has to get back to work. There are a lot of people that need a lot of things. He asks which room you guys are staying in.
Oh, we got
Basement.
yeah.
Oh, and he kind of like shakes his head and smiles, says, "I'm so sorry. Like, we just didn't have the room." And he starts to apologize before he interrupts himself. Says, "I do have to get back, but I'm gonna, because you were so nice to my daughter, I would like to invite you to join us for the feast tonight, if you'd like."
Oh yeah. We do have to talk to a guy with long fingers. But other than that, we don't have any plans.
Yeah.
By a man with long fingers, do you mean long fingers?
Nah, that's the guy.
I'm pretty sure. I'm bad at names.
Yeah, he works in the bakery. Long fingers.
His real name is Mark. Everyone just calls him Long Fingers.
What?
I'm certainly not going to remember Mark.
He shrugs and smiles and says, "You lovely ladies, enjoy the evening. We will find you, or you come find us right before sundown, and we can all head to the feast together."
Sure.
Lovely. Are you bringing your kids along to the feast as well?
Yeah, apparently children are kind of required. That's the whole big deal. That's what story time, whatever that is about at the end. So family friendly. Don't expect too much drunkenness, but yeah, there will be tons of children around. Yeah.
But your kids aren't dressing up, it looks like.
Our children are not really dress up kind of kids, and they're easily startled. We didn't want them running around with the other kids in masks and things. We think it'll just cause nightmares. So we have opted out this year, and everyone seems to be fine with that because it's our first year.
All right. I guess we'll wait and see, right?
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you three would like to do for the rest of the afternoon before the feast?
Ladies, do we want to go check out the tavern?
I can never say no to a tavern.
Yeah, I'm down.
Kick off this adventure the right way. I think we're going to head to the tavern.
As you get over to the tavern, you see that it is called the Spinning Top. It also looks like the sign itself has been cut horizontally, and the top portion of it that says spinning will actually spin like a weather vane, depending on the breeze. And when you go in, you see what you would expect, a absolutely jam-packed tavern with a bunch of people talking and shouting over each other. There is a band of humans that are playing up on the stage. They are playing music that is kind of like folksy as well, playing some instruments that you recognize as being like farm equipment. And it's mostly just percussive, and everybody is working together to sing along, but it's almost as if they're making up the lyrics as they go. It's a really good time. People are starting to get a little drunk. And at one point, the bartender, who is a small halfling, like small even by halfling standards, floats up about 6 feet in the air, sticks his hands out, and calls out to everybody that last call is in 25 minutes because it is a dry festival tonight.
Ooh, interesting.
Do you think they need a drummer?
They would not say no if you hop up.
I'm going to hop up with my drums.
They don't break their rhythm at all, but they all stop singing to cheer. We have another one! And then, they just double down on the percussive display that they're putting on there.
I'm just going to feel it in my soul, what they're doing, and go along with it.
Give me a performance check.
18.
Yeah, you rock out. It is amazing. Everyone is very, very happy. And the humans are all interacting with you. Like each one of them takes a turn, getting like right up with you and in your energy, making eye contact as they're playing their instruments, right? At one point, they give you a solo. It's a lot of fun. For Emora and Velindra, what are you two doing?
Oh, I would be like clapping along, and like maybe we could go find a spot at the bar, Emora?
Sure.
The bar has a series of different flavored meads. There are a couple of ales and a bunch of sweetened root wines as well, if you would like to try those. But mostly corn liquor.
That's what I was going to say. I have a feeling our feast tonight will be a plethora of corn options. So I'm going to try a sweet wine.
Okay.
As I see Velindra order something from the stage, I'm going to send a message to tell her to order me something too.
Sure.
I give a nod. I will order her a sweet wine as well.
Emora, what are you ordering?
I'll just order a mead.
Is there anything else you'd like to do for the rest of the afternoon?
I think it might be nice just to chill out in here for a bit. And as usual, it's being super weird. And Malachi also mentioned that everybody around here does have some sort of weird idiosyncrasy. So just kind of watching the crowd for anything extra interesting that you notice.
What's your passive perception?
12.
And I'm going to need you to roll perception.
That is also a 12.
Well, at least you're consistent. So the only thing that stands out to you is their jig that they're dancing. It's an odd one. There's a lot of knee slapping, and they've got like weird, almost like stick your elbows out and bounce them up and down. It's a very strange dance. But even the people that are clearly adventurers and that are not locals will get caught up in it as well, and will go out on the dance floor and dance along with these quaint little villagers.
All right. Generally still a jovial, positive vibe.
Absolutely. Last call. You guys can order another round, and then the bar is closed. When the bar is closed, they say, all right, the tavern shuts its doors here in 30 minutes. Everybody, head out, get your costumes, and get ready for the night's festivities.
Costumes?
You both say that out loud.
Yeah.
One of the adventurers that walks by is a human who's missing his left eye. There's like an eye patch and a big scar down one side. He kind of grins at the two of you and goes, don't worry, we don't do costumes. It's not mandatory. You can hear one of the locals cries out, but it should be. And then there's a cheer.
Good.
I actually have a costume.
Of course.
As one of my entertainer background things.
What's the costume
It's
of?
not a jester or a crow, but they just said get your costumes on. So I took that as any costume. So I run to the bathroom really quick and I say, I'll be right back, ladies. And I come back dressed as a pirate.
So cute.
Amazing. Is there anything else you would like to do, or shall we head back to the inn to meet up with the family?
I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Same.
When you get there, the inn is essentially empty. While you're walking there, you see that there are a ton of people that are sitting around all of the tables. Most of the tables are half filled already, and there are more people that are joining all of the time. All the lanterns are lit at the top of these posts that go up to the middle of each one of these tables. And there's already a massive buffet that is directly in front of FNG Jack. There are a lot of people that are over there surveying it. A bunch of the pigs have been roasted. There are all sorts of treats and things that are lining the tables on the right, and on the left there are a bunch of side dishes to go along with the meats as well. When you head in, like I said, the inn is mostly empty except for the family that's there. The kids are kind of bundled up, and they've got kind of a bunch of toys to keep the younger ones interested and entertained. And so Malachi brings you over and introduces you properly to the 9-year-old, her daughter Adelaide. Adelaide is a little bit bashful after the last time you saw her. Of course, she was crying, but she's very happy to see you, especially Orla. And then they introduce the little 4-year-old boy. His name is Ishmael. Ishmael is just absolutely full of attitude, and he's indignant as all hell. Like, would you like to shake their hands, Ishmael? No. And then, of course, there's little Obadiah, who they call Obi, who is a little bit too big for being carried around in a bassinet, but he seems to be spoiled, and he's got just a ridiculous amount of drool for a 15-month-old. So you get the impression that there might be something a little odd about Obi, but he's a good enough kid. Are you ready to head to the festival?
Yeah. Let's see what this is all about, guys.
Let's do it.
Between the time that you stepped into the inn and the few minutes later when you stepped out, music started to play. It's the same band that was just at the tavern. But you'll notice throughout the night that the band changes over and over again. They will add or remove members, and a couple of times the whole band changes in its entirety. And it's not so much a professional lineup of musicians as it is people with a little bit of musical talent. They maybe own an instrument, and they just want to showcase, hey, I can play this. It's mostly just the local yokels that are up there with really simplistic versions of banjos and lutes. Every once in a while, there'll be some sort of wind instrument. but a lot of it is just rhythmic percussion to get people moving and dancing a little bit, right? But it's in the background. It's not supposed to be the focus. It's just there to keep everybody in a good mood. There are a couple of fireworks that are set off seemingly at random. They make people jump, and then everyone calls out, "Fear is a construct," if they jump. And this is one of the little things that happens throughout the night. The food, like I said, are ham, goose, there's a lot of rabbits. Most of the sides are like mushroom salads, various candied squashes, and of course, you are not surprised to see about 40 different plates of corn prepared in different ways. Even the breads and the carbs there are cornbreads. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do during this feast besides fill up on the food?
I'm curious if anyone is interacting more with the wooden statue. Like, is it climbable? Is there anything around it that indicates it does anything else besides just be a giant ass statue?
Most of the people just seem to be ignoring it. Every once in a while, someone will lift up a glass, but the glasses are water or cranberry juice for the kids. So they'll hold up a glass and toast FNG Jack that is peering down at everybody, but it's largely ignored.
Okay.
The one thing of note that happens is at one point, Obi starts to fuss a little bit, and Malachi gets like the ugliest little doll you've ever seen. Serafino kind of whispers over at you and says, "Passed down through generations, please forgive it." It's got like scraggly hair sticking out of it. It's been stitched back together a number of times. Made out of burlap, parts of it, like most of it's burlap. There's been other materials added. And it's just this like ugly looking doll that Obi has been kind of like clutching the whole time. And Malachi picks it up and goes, "Hey, Obi, look, it's Poppet. Look at Poppet." And trying to make Poppet dance. Obi is like kind of watching, but is tired and not really paying attention, is looking away. And finally Malachi goes, no, look, boo. And like pushes the Poppet towards the baby, and the baby just starts to cry. They pull out every other toy they can think of. They've got a little dolly that's kind of dressed like a jester, maybe a little bit like a clown, maybe. It's got like a pale face with some blue makeup and colorful clothing. But Obi's too busy crying, doesn't want any part of that. They pull out what they call a jester chest. And the jester chest is a small wooden box with a crank on the side of it. And we start spinning it. It starts to make a little tinkling musical noise as well. And then it suddenly bursts open like a jack-in-the-box. And it is dressed like a jester, but it's got a symbol in each hand. And it smashes the symbols together. Obi jumps, screams, and loses his shit. Even Ishmael jumps and is now unimpressed and does not want to be here anymore. And Serafina kind of like chastises her husband and scoops up the two little kids and takes them back to the inn to put them down for the night. And he just shrugs and goes, I no, come on. It would have been normal any other night. They're overstayed. It's not my fault. And you see this go back and forth. And yes?
Before they go, I kind of want to try something. I want to kind of like pull, because I have like leaves and stuff in my hair and like buds and whatnot. I'm going to like pull something out of my hair and kind of make a flower blossom in my hand and kind of show it to Obi, see if that gets his attention.
Obi can't see what you're doing through his tears. He is losing his mind. But Adelaide is very interested. "Oh my gosh, can you do that again? How do you do that? What kind of flower is that?" And you're just going to get pestered by 1,000 questions now.
While they're all doing that, and I'm seeing each toy like try and fail, I'm assuming this takes at least 10 minutes, hopefully, for them to go through the series of toys. I'm going to make a tiny clockwork device, which is a thing I can do if I spend 10 minutes casting prestidigitation.
Okay.
And I'm seeing all the jester toys fail. So I'm going to make a little crow toy, and I'm going to make it sort of one of those, those birds that like dip down and drink out of the water and just keep going up and down.
Oh, yeah.
But that looks like a crow. And I'm going to give it, like, as Serafina is walking off with the kids, I'm going to give it to her and say, "Here, maybe try this to calm them down."
Ishmael will sniffle a little bit and reach for it, and she'll hand it down to him. And he'll grab it, like he'll hold it by the head and watch as the legs go back and forth, like not understanding that he's doing it backwards. But so he's going to play with this, and he's going to, like, through a big plugged nose with wet cheeks, look at you and say, "Thank you."
Aww.
You're welcome. Keep him safe, okay?
"Okay. What's his name?"
Bob.
Bob. And then he gets led away.
Oh, the children.
Malachi, kind of at a loss, will get up and go get some desserts. Does everybody want something? Let me make up for my idiocy by bringing you some food.
I'll always take food.
Oh, yeah. Something sweet.
He says, you don't mind watching Adelaide for a minute?
No, go ahead.
Maybe something without corn.
That gets a real full laugh out of him. And he's going to say, I will do my very best.
Okay.
and he goes to walk away. Adelaide is just looking at the three of you with utter hero worship, eyes like wide and sparkly, waiting for you to do something else. Because everything you've done has been amazing so far.
I'm going to cast message to her and say, wait till story time. And there's going to be so much more excitement.
Her eyes go wide and she does a literal spit take, hearing your voice in her head. And she falls off of the bench she's sitting on and lands in the grass and then pops back up. Do it again.
I will cast message to Orla and say, tell her something, Orla.
All right, so I'll send a message in her head and say, do you want to see another trick?
And she just squeals and she looks at Emora to see if she can do it too.
Oh, yeah, I can do it. I'll send that.
She turns and looks at Orla and like focuses, squinting her eyes, and you can tell she's trying to think words at you.
So I'm going to take the little like flower thing that Emora had created and I'm going to cast light on it so it glows.
She is going to absolutely squeal and hold on to it and be in love with this thing. Malachi is going to come back with a bunch of desserts. He did manage to find a sweet squash pie, and he brought a couple of pieces over. Says this was the only thing I could find that didn't have some amount of corn in it.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Eventually, Serafina does come back. The kids have been put to bed. They're sleeping now. And she wanders back and says, okay, so we're not going to scare Adelaide. And Malachi's like, yes. I'm very sorry. I'm an idiot. You win. Move on. And while they're having this exchange, you will recognize Alfrey is going to come over in one of the slinkiest dresses that you've ever seen. And she's going to come right up and ask if Velindra wants to dance.
I'm going to send a message to her and say, do it.
Do it.
You just hear us chanting in your head.
I just stare like jovial daggers at both of them. And then I stand up and I'll go down.
She's going to head out there. Now, it's just drums are pounding. It is an amazing display of percussion, and there are cymbals going, and someone is hitting what looks like a very simplistic xylophone just to add a little bit of difference to it, but it's all about the drums. And this is not an opportunity to slow dance by any means. This is go out there and rock out. And so while this is happening, I will say that what's your passive perception, Orla?
11.
11? That's enough to be able to see a Goliath with large hands is sitting a couple of tables over from you as well. But I don't think he's noticed you.
Well, I am rather small. Emora, do you want to go talk to the long finger guy?
I'm going to look over and be all like, yeah, let's do it.
So I'm just going to march right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the confidence in the world.
I'm going to just hang back a bit and just be kind of awkward because that's what I do.
Yeah. And I'm just going to wave, hey, finger guy!
He's going to sigh and turn around and see you and then kind of smile and say, hi, I guess you managed to get your answers at the inn?
Well, we got some answers, but really a lot more questions. We still don't fully know what's happening right now.
He says, well, we're pretty much getting close to story time, so it should just be a couple more songs until we get there. It's getting pretty late for the kids, so.
But my main question is, what does F and G stand for?
And he grins and he says, what do you think it stands for?
Well, I couldn't say what I first thought it stood for because kids were around. So I went with fear no God. I think that's what we said.
And he leans down real close and says, whisper in my ear, what'd you think it was?
Oh, well, I was still thinking about you, so I thought it was fingers. And I kind of wink at him.
I don't know if anyone has ever seen a Goliath blush before, but they turn a deep shade of gray.
Aw.
And he says, it most certainly is not fingers. And he like opens his hand and looks at it and says, you were thinking of me. And his hand is like half the size of your gnome body. And he regards it for a second, looks back at you, and then looks around at the table. And people are kind of like looking at the corner of their eye at him and at the two of you talking, just because, you know, you're an adventurer, you're a stranger, you've walked up to speak to good old Longfingers. And he says in your ear, if you'd like to dance, we can go dance. I want you to know my real name is Mark. And then he gets real close to your ear and says, but you can call me Longfingers.
Please.
And I send a message to Emora, and I'm like, I'm gonna go dance with him. I gotta see where this goes.
I'm just gonna say, go right ahead. I'm going back to sit with Malachi, I guess.
And I put my very small hand in. No, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand over my hand so it's a little bit bigger, and put it in his hand.
He's got to like really crouch down to hold your hand, but he will absolutely do that. When you get to the dance floor, it is time to rock out. You can see over on the far side of it, Velindra is still dancing with Alfari. Everybody seems to be getting up now. The music is coming into a big crescendo. Fireworks are going off fairly frequently now, and Seraphina asks you, Emora, if you don't mind watching Adelaide. She'd like to dance with her husband.
Sure, go ahead.
Adelaide looks over at you once the adults are gone, and she says in kind of a low voice, you know I'm not really scared of geese, right?
Oh, trust and believe. You were the bravest person out there.
And she kind of smiles quietly to herself and goes back to stuffing her face with food and watching everybody dance. And then you guys see a very, very old gnome work his way up with a cane up onto the stage, and he kind of waves at the music and it stops. And he clears his throat and tilts his head up. He's like bent almost in half, so he tilts his head up, what looks like a great amount of effort, and puts a finger on his throat, and his voice then booms across the entire town square. And he says, it is time for a story, and I would like all of the children to come sit here on the floor in front of the stage, and I will tell you the story of the Fearfeather and Festival Night Guardian Jack.
God damn it.
Amora's gonna stand up and be like, we lost. And then quickly sit back down.
Seraphina looks over at her daughter and then like motions with her head, get over there. And Adelaide looks at you like a little scared, Emora, like she doesn't know if she should go or not.
I say, go ahead, hurry. Looks like it's fun.
And she takes a breath and she kind of like wanders over, but she's not going to sit down. She's going to stand kind of at the edge and just watch. While all of this is happening, Longfingers is going to turn to you, Orla, and say quietly, everyone is very distracted right now, and there's nobody over in the bakery if you'd like to get away for a moment.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And I'm going to send a message to Emora and Velindra as I'm walking to the bakery, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go climb this man like a tree.
I know that's right. I'll be like, girl, go ahead.
Alfari kind of takes you by the hand, Velindra, over to where the story time is. And all the adults are gathering around too, behind where the children are. She's going to stand there and reach out to grab your hand if you'll let her.
Sure. I will pause and just watch where Orla is going just to make sure they go inside the bakery.
Oh, yeah.
Can I see the bakery entrance from where I am?
Yes, you absolutely can. There's enough light that's pouring out of all of these lanterns and whatnot to kind of illuminate the fronts of the buildings in the inner circle here, and you can see them kind of sneak away. You will actually see as he unlocks the door to the bakery, he reaches down and scoops up Orla under one arm and carries her in, and then the door closes.
Okay, great. Just to, make sure she got to her destination in this fashion, at least.
I'll get to my destination.
Alfari is going to kind of like put her head on your shoulder a little bit as you are standing there listening to story time.
I'll allow it.
Story time is just going to be everyone else getting off the stage and this old gnome pulling out a small stool and sitting down on it and stretching back as the kids are all sitting down and people are gathering, cracking his neck a little bit. And he puts a finger against his throat again and he says, "There are a lot of faces here that I don't know, and you may call me Old Wrinkles Hunklewood. Before you ask, no, I am not a bajillion years old, and it's rude to assume as such." And this gets a little bit of a laugh out of the audience. You can see that his face is made up mostly of just deep, deep wrinkles. He's got beady little eyes staring out of them through little spectacles as well that seem to be like brass-rimmed spectacles. What little hair he does have hangs in wisps around his shoulders, and his ears are each nearly the size of his head. His nose is monstrous and red on his clearly sun-damaged face. Emora Malachi leans over and says, "You know, everybody thinks he's deaf, but I swear to God, if he would just trim those forests of gray hairs growing out of his ears, he'd probably hear just fine."
Yeah, it is a little disgusting, if I can be honest.
And as you say this, story time starts. And it starts like any good story with a once upon a time. And as he speaks, his voice is so soothing, and it hits a rhythm that is almost entrancing. Not actually magical trance by any means, but it's so easy to listen to that by the time he's done speaking, you almost wish it wasn't over. And he tells a story of a situation that happened 788 years ago when his father was still alive. And this is the story of the Fear Feather and his evil master, the Crow Maestro, who was an old bird hermit that was jealous of Cornix's ability to grow crops. He drags this story out for a solid 5 or 6 minutes, just describing how Cornix would try to teach him how to do it. And the villagers were so friendly and accommodating, but the Crow Maestro was never interested. They would give him corn and seeds to plant, and he would just gobble them down and come back for more. And this went back and forth for a while. And when it finally became too much and the villagers couldn't give him free crops anymore, he became angry. And he summoned the Fear Feather. The Fear Feather is drawn to the fears of the people of Cornix. It was a curse upon the land. And the people of Cornix were fearful because back then, winter was deep. It was scary, and there was almost never enough food to go around. There was a real fear of starving and wondering if your whole family would make it through the winter. There were fears of isolation, the fear of the dark in the winter months, the fear of freezing. And so as we got closer and closer to it, when there wasn't enough food for even a festival like this, people would become scared. And that is when the Fear Feather would swoop down, land on people who were afraid of the dark, who were afraid of starving. They were out alone after dark. It would swoop down, land on them, and drink up their fear until they were dead. And soon, the people of Cornix became more scared of the Fear Feather than even of the impending winter. And as year after year went by, the Fear Feather just got stronger and stronger. And every day at dawn, it would return to its master, the Crow Maestro, who would sing its songs of violence and terror and prepare it for the next night. Year after year this went on, and many villagers had their fearful souls slurped up by the Fear Feather until one day, in the spring, not knowing anything of the Fear Feather, a fool named Jack stumbled into town and fell asleep right there, and he points over to where FNG Jack stands now. He says, "You see, Jack the Fool was too silly to be afraid of anything." And of course, he didn't actually look like a jester back then. It's just how we honor his memory now, with the iconography of the Fool. He was a ridiculous man with a ridiculous hat, and everyone laughed at him. But you see, laughter is the opposite of fear. And so when the autumn came around and the Fear Feather returned, it was angry. It hated Jack. The Crow Maestro hated Jack, and the Fear Feather targeted him. But Jack's bravery when he was attacked was strange and upsetting for the Fear Feather. And when it pounced on him one night, exactly 788 years ago today, it found a soul full of levity, and the wretched creature shuddered and fled. It retreated deep into the woods to watch and pout and wait, and it's been there every year since, waiting and watching, yearning for the day that the people of Cornix will once again let fear rule over fun. And that is why he is our festival night guardian. And that is why we come together and remind ourselves not to be afraid of the winter. And as long as we have bravery in our hearts, and as long as we're laughing, we can keep the fear at bay. And that's when all of the adults in the town all chime in together. Do not fear. Fear is a construct. And story time is done. There's a round of applause coming from the audience, and Adelaide sneaks and weaves her way through the crowd back to her parents who are sitting next to you, Emora, and you can hear her say, "That was a weird story." And they say, "Yes, but I think it's time for bed, so let's get you back." And you can see a lot of the adults have declared this the end of the night, and they're grabbing their kids and they're taking them home. Orla, we're going to happily fade to black about what's going on in the butcher shop. However, if you would like to roll a d20.
18.
Goddamn. I'm not going to say anything else, but goddamn.
Can I add my performance to that? Because it's a +7.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Orla, you're going to walk away after an unspecified amount of time. You will hear a snoring Goliath coming from the back room as you let yourself out. But while she was doing all of that, Velindra, Emora, what would you like to do?
I'd like to ask Alfrey if that's what, is that what you expected with the story time?
And she smiles and says, "Not even a little bit, but wasn't that sweet? Wasn't that pleasant?"
It was interesting. A lot makes more sense, but I'm kind of curious whether the fear feather actually exists still.
She shrugs and says, "I've been through these woods. There are clearly crows, and like lots of them. I'm sure you saw that massive murderer on the horizon as you got closer, but nothing that I have seen indicates that there's any sort of monster out there."
Okay. Well, thank you for the dancing.
And she says, "Are you retiring for the evening?"
No, but I think I'd like to spend some time with my friends.
She nods and says, "Fair enough. Thank you for a wonderful dance. And are you staying in town long?"
That will depend on how this night ends.
"I hope to bump into you in the morning then."
Good night.
She kind of nods her head at you and turns around, and you can see the human Jonali and the Dragonborn Shimro are kind of standing back, and they're like shrugging, like, "What the fuck happened? What are you doing?" As she walks back to them, she's shaking her head no. Is there anything else you would like to do this evening?
Emora, I'll let you weigh in. I've talked a lot.
No, I'm just going to kind of pay attention to what the adults are doing, kind of let everyone like fizzle out and just be nosy for a minute, see if anything weird's going on.
It's nothing else, really. Some people are sitting down to continue eating. You get the impression that a lot of the adults are going to hang out for a little while longer, but it's pretty much emptying out. There's going to be, 15% of the people are still milling about. Everyone else is kind of heading home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll stretch and look at Velindra and say, shall we head back to the inn?
I want to just see if the very old gnome is still hanging around.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten down off the stage, down some of the steps. It took him a while, but old Wrinkles Hunklewood is still kind of milling about. There are a couple of humans that are talking and a couple of kids that are asking more questions. I'm not going to say the center of attention, but he's in the midst of kind of the largest crowd that's left of about 20 people or so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, what time of night does it seem to be?
We would call it about 10:30 our time. Past the kids' bedtime, and anyone's getting up early in the morning is going to be heading to bed soon, and a lot of those are farmers. So,
all right, Emora, I think we could start heading that way. I would like to chat with the gnome, but there's a lot of people around there too.
All right.
When you guys get back to the inn, you'll see that Malachi, Seraphina, and Adelaide had gotten in front of you. They'd unlocked, they're opening it up, and everybody's kind of walking back in. You guys have a key to go around the back way and let yourself into the cellar door, or you can go through the main part of the inn. Which way would you prefer?
What faces the back cellar door? Like what's on the back side of the inn?
Directly beside the cellar door is the pen with all of the geese.
Right. And then across the way?
Across the way, there are a couple of houses as well on the second circle. They just look like residential houses. They're all one story. They're pretty small and simple. You would assume that a lot of the merchants and whatnot probably live in these houses. If they're not farmers, then they probably make their living here in the town square area.
Okay, gotcha. Well, why don't we take the scenic route? Do we see Orla yet?
Perhaps.
Sure. Yeah, Orla's sort of like stumbling her way over. She was gonna go to the side, anyways, as she's sort of disheveled and covered in flour.
Partially still dressed like a pirate.
Yeah. Carrying her hat.
You'll notice the patches on the other eye, and the pipe that she is holding, that is smoldering with tobacco, is the sides of a Goliath's pipe.
Mhm.
Are you going to wait for her before you go into the inn, or are you going to head in there before her?
Honestly, if I see her making her way, we can just hang out and wait for her.
Okay. You'll notice that the other three adventurers that you guys have kind of befriended, Alfred and the other two, are nodding at you as they head into the inn the main way. But everyone else seems to ignore you. They're all heading home, or they're kind of bustling about and saying goodnight to people. This was another successful feast.
As we're waiting for Orla to actually get up to us, I say to Emora, I'm still just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't know. What do you think? Is that it?
Yeah, I feel like there's something else here that's not being said, at first it was giving cult vibes to me, but
Getting that too.
I was wondering if they would put the kids to bed and then it would be here's the real story of blood and death, but I don't know. I am curious to figure out if that fear feather is still in the on the outskirts of town in the forest and stuff.
And they didn't really say what happened to Jack, did they?
No, they didn't.
Only that his lack of fear drove the fear feather away. 188 years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
I don't trust it.
Me either. I don't think we got the full story or the real story.
I do have more questions, but perhaps the morning will bring others.
Yeah.
It's at this point that Orla catches up with you.
Well, you missed the thrilling story.
Oh, I had a thrilling time myself. I didn't even have to cast Enlarge on that one.
I'm gonna be really?
Mm-hmm. But what was the story? What did I miss? You tell me.
All right. You guys can recap the story. Are you heading into your room? Are you going into the main part of the inn? Where are we heading from here?
I say we take our back entrance.
Yeah.
You find the padlock on the chain that's holding the doors closed. When you unlock it and open up the doors to go in, you see there are also handles on the inside, so you can lock it from the inside as well. Just bring the chain and padlock with you. And it's dark there, but with the doors open and you can see from the moonlight that there is a lantern at the bottom of this flight of stairs. It's only about 9 stairs down. When you go down, it doesn't take much to light the lantern. It's clearly full of oil already, and it illuminates a large room, but the room is mostly taken up with furniture that's been stacked along 3 of the walls. The 4th wall has 3 beds that look like the most comfortable, well-made beds that you've ever seen in your lives. They are each like a queen size, easily big enough for all of you, way too big for Orla, and all of your bags and your items have been placed on a chair beside each one of the beds. The chairs seem to be acting as a nightstand because there's not actually any side tables or anything here. There are a couple of benches that have been set up around a long wooden table as well, and there are a handful of treats and a jug of water sitting on the table with a little note written from Seraphina. Thank you so much for being wonderful guests. We'll see you in the morning for breakfast.
I'm exhausted. And I climb into my very large bed.
I bet you are.
I'm gonna say, is this the nicest place I've ever stayed? No, but at least they tried their best, right? Nice people, very nice people.
They do seem that way.
Yeah. I'm gonna get into bed and probably go right to sleep. It's been an eventful day.
The beds are incredibly comfortable, and the night goes by relatively quickly and easily. You're getting a good sleep, but at some point, hours after you've gone to bed, you are woken up, all 3 of you, by the sound of a child's scream.
This is what I thought would happen. I am up straight away. It's I knew there was something going to happen.
What would you like to do? It seems to be coming from above your heads.
I would go over to the door to the inn, that entrance of our basement.
Yep.
And just to listen at it to see if I hear anything outside.
You hear the sound of furniture that is being moved quickly across the wooden floor, and the sound of a very small child crying, and then another yelp from what sounds like an older child.
Oh my.
I assume both of you are getting up?
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Yep, me too.
All right. Yeah, I slowly crack open the door.
You can see that there's a lantern sitting precariously at the edge of a table. You're peering out through the door, and across from you, you can see the stage, and all of the chairs and the tables and whatnot are cleared off and empty. One of the chairs has been knocked over, and you can see the form of a big kid, a girl, that is standing there in night clothes, and you recognize Adelaide immediately. Her arms seem to be full, and she is whispering away from you. You cannot see her face.
And we can't see what her arms are full with.
That's right.
I'm gonna send message to her and say, Adelaide, are you okay?
She screams coming out of her skin and goes, help, 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 help.
Oh, my.
I'm gonna rush over there when she starts yelling for help.
Can I get a perception check?
That is a nat 20 plus 1.
That is perfect. That is enough for you to be able to see that she kind of half turns to you and she's got cradled in her arms Obi, who is kind of squirming and panicky, wide-eyed and absolutely terrified. She has gone completely pale. She's scared out of her wits. A couple of tables away on the floor, kind of the most open part of this little restaurant area, you can see that Ishmael is on his back and he's kind of like crab walking away, staring forward, and the light barely illuminates. You can see the bag of toys that they had before and the puppet, the little burlap sack doll that was handed down from generation to generation, is crawling out of the bag towards them.
Oh, hell no.
What would you like to do?
Okay. I'm going to run over and stand between the doll and Ishmael on the ground.
All right, and then I'm going to need us to all roll initiative then.
We're fighting a doll!
I got a 21.
13 from me.
Adam, you won't believe it. I rolled 20, not natural.
Wow, I don't believe it.
I know.
Orla, you are up first. The scene here in front of you is the room is relatively dark at the edges in the corners. However, the center of it is lit with bright light from this lantern that's sitting at the edge of the table. This poppet is crawling out of this sack that's full of toys, and Ishmael is prone on the ground behind Velindra. You and Emora are standing at the doorway, and Adelaide, holding Obi, is looking at you with tears running down her cheeks, absolutely terrified out of her mind. What would you like to do?
How far away is the poppet?
45 feet.
Okay. I am gonna walk 15 feet towards it and cast my mage hand and pick it up, assuming it's not heavier than 10 pounds.
It is not. You can
Okay.
absolutely do that.
I'm gonna grip it with my mage hand in the air. If I move back, then my mage hand will go away. So I'm gonna stand 30 feet away from it, from my mage hand, holding it, gripping it in the air. And say, ladies, what do we do with this?
You can see that it's struggling weakly against the mage hand as well. Velindra, you're up next.
I look at Ishmael and ask him, what are all of you doing up and what's going on?
And he just cries out, Obi had a nightmare. Mom and Dad won't wake up.
Okay. I direct them to go down into our room.
As soon as you're done saying that, there is a loud banging that starts coming from the back door.
Which is down by our room.
No, it isn't. I mean, it's opposite of the front door. So I want you to think north is front door, south is back door, east is the room down to the basement, and west is the stage.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then I'll tell them all just go over there and get down, and I'll point towards the stage so that like at least Ishmael is with Adelaide and Obi, and they're all together.
Okay, it's not their turn yet, so when we get there, we'll get there.
Okay, and then I will just use my movement to walk towards the back door.
Okay. It is at this point that the poppet starts to laugh. And I'm going to need a wisdom save from Orla and Velindra. You are within the range.
Right.
A creepy little giggle comes out of its mouth, and it turns its head and looks at Velindra as she's walking away.
I rolled a 9.
I have advantage on it as a gnome, but I got a 20 on my first roll, so 21.
All right. You're able to shake it off, but Velindra, you are absolutely not. Chill runs through you, and you are now frightened of this poppet for the next minute. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn with disadvantage.
Okay.
It then is going to try to roll an escape to get away. What's your spell save DC, Peps, for Orla?
15.
All right. I rolled a 19, which is a 16 because it is not strong. And it is able to break free and land on the ground. When it does, two other things happen immediately. One is a box explodes from the sack, landing on the ground, and the crank turns twice.
No!
And suddenly, this jester chest opens up, and there's the top half of a jester coming off of a spring, a symbol in each hand. As it looks at Velindra, it is going to smash the symbols together twice. Each one of these is an attack with the symbol.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit your AC?
It does. My AC is 14.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of thunder damage as it hits you with this on the first attack. And on the second, I rolled even better.
Great.
6 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of thunder damage. Its head rolls around on its neck and it looks over at Emora and grins. And also, crawling out of the bag as well, you can see the little doll that they had before that was dressed like a clown, now snarling with little fangs, claws have poked out through its little white gloves, and it is crying loudly as it stands up and starts moving towards you.
Oh, this is so creepy.
No, don't like that.
Emora, you're up.
I'm going to cast, I guess, Starry Wisp at the dolly that's walking towards me. Does a 10 hit?
10 does not.
I'm gonna kind of also back away as well.
Okay. The children are going to scramble over towards the stage. Adelaide gets there with Obi and turns to watch. You can see Obi's eyes are peeking out from a little bundle, watching as well. Ishmael scrambles to his feet, but can't make it all the way to the stage. But he does skirt around the dolls, and you can see that he is crying, but like soundlessly. He is almost petrified with fear. And it is now Orla's turn again.
In front of me, is it just the 3 toys?
That's right, but there's also loud banging coming from the back door.
Okay. How far away are they from me?
They're all within 30 feet. And they're all clustered about 20 feet apart. Poppet's kind of moved away from the others, but...
Okay. I am going to cast Dragon's Breath.
Ooh.
Which is a 15-foot cone. So I'll position it to get at, if they're 20 feet apart, at least 2 of them.
The Chester chest is in the middle. So you can do the Poppet and the Jester chest, or the Jester chest and Dolly.
Since Papa was the first one that we saw, I will include that one.
Okay.
So since I am of a green dragon lineage, it'll be a poison. So I'll sort of like start to glow green as this comes, and I'll just sort of like open my mouth and exhale, like let out a scream as I cast this.
Okay.
So it says it's a 15 dex save.
Well, the Poppet fails, and our Jester chest got a 17.
2 5s and a 3, so 13 damage.
Ooh, that's all right. When you do this, and it's poison, you said, right?
Yes.
When you do this, you see that neither of them are affected by this. Constructs tend to be immune to poison.
Rough.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Yeah, I also have a sling, so I'll try to hit him, pop it with the sling, at least.
Okay.
As my action. That is another nat 20. I'm saving this dice.
Well, shit.
It's actually a green dragon dice, so it fits very well with...
Yeah, that's all right. Do you ladies want me to pull out the crit tables?
Sure.
Oh. Yeah, let's do it.
I knew that I was playing with Miaca and Casey, so I didn't think I'd ever have to roll in a crit table. So, but Peps, why don't you roll another d20 while I bring this info up?
That was a 16.
A 16 on a crit. You knock the wind out of them. The target immediately gains 2 levels of exhaustion. Oof.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you do crit damage?
It is double the dice and then add your modifier.
8.
8?
Yes.
Okay. You punch a hole right through its chest, and you can see the stuffing and straw kind of hanging out of it, but it is still up and moving.
Okay.
That brings us to Velindra. You are scared of the Poppet now.
Can you give me an idea of how far away I am from all 3?
You're about 15 feet away from the poppet and about 30 feet away from the jester chest and Dolly.
I'm going to give this poppet the evil eye, and I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
The range is 60 feet, and it needs to succeed on a wisdom save, and the DC is 50.
Well, I rolled a 9.
And I don't think they're very wise, right?
No.
Yes. Perfect. And the poppet has taken damage or no?
It has, yes.
All right, so that will be 2d12. Oh god, the worst. Okay. 4 points of damage.
On 2d12?
Yes. I rolled 2 2s.
Yikes.
Oh no.
Are the jester chest and Dolly on the other side of the poppet to me? Like, can I move closer? So I can't move closer to any of them.
That's correct.
Okay. Love how you planned that, Adam. Thanks. All right. I will stay where I am then. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. The poppet is going to just scamper across the floor faster than you would expect it to, and is going to come right up to Velindra and try to give her a hug around the ankle. Oh, that is a 23 to hit. You are going to take...
Yeah, it hits.
Yeah, you're going to take 1 bludgeoning damage as it wraps its little arms around you and squeezes far tighter than you thought that it should be able to. But it's the laughter that echoes through you as this happens, and it's another 5 psychic damage as you're filled with fear. Dolly scampers forward as well, again, quicker than you might expect, and goes right after Orla, just reaching out to grip onto her. But as it does, it uses its creepy voice for its first attack. So you're going to have to make a wisdom save.
All right. The first one's a 13, and the second one was a 4.
So I'm sorry that
I have advantage on wisdom, intelligence, and charisma for being a gnome.
Gotcha. Okay, so a 13 passes, and you are now immune to being frightened of Dolly's voice. However, she also reaches out to touch you. And rolls a 13. Does a 13 hit?
Nope.
You're able to just like pull your foot back at the last moment. She's grinning up at you with that ugly little face and the jagged teeth and the big bulbous eyes, while the jester chest jumps across the room, arcing in 40 feet at once. And this is actually going to pass by Orla to get to Emora. Orla, would you like to take an opportunity attack?
Yes. That's a 1.
No.
That's a 1. All right. Yay. Crit
I
failure
can't
tables
keep
too.
rolling 20s, you know?
Can you roll a d20, please, for our crit table? Because there's crit failures too.
13.
13. You got winded. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
No.
Karma.
And the way that this works now under the new rule set is your speed is reduced by a number of feet equal to 5 times your exhaustion level. So you are now 5 feet slower. And anytime that you roll a d20, you have to take 2 off of it.
Okay.
Adam?
Yes.
I forgot about rolling my saving throw again for... That happens at the end of my turn?
Yes, but with disadvantage. Do you want to roll that now?
Well, I rolled a nat 20 and a 5, which is a 10 total.
So you are still frightened of the poppet.
Okay.
The jester chest lands directly beside Emora and rolls a 24 to hit.
Yep.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 2 points of thunder damage. That brings us to Emora's turn.
All right. I'm going to cast Thorn Whip at the thing right in front of me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. 10 again?
That's going
10?
to miss.
I keep rolling 10s. Dang it. Can I try to like move away from it? Like I know
It will get an
coming
opportunity attack if you do.
I'll just stay still.
Okay. The children run back against the stage and they're huddling there watching this fight go on in front of them. The banging at the back door is getting louder and louder, and you can hear the door frame start to splinter. Orla, it is your turn.
All right. So I have Dolly at my feet, correct?
That is correct.
Or Dolly moved, didn't it?
Dolly moved up to you and attacked.
Mhm.
Poppet is the one that's taken the damage and is over by Velindra.
Okay. And where's the jester chest?
It is over by Emora. So each of you seem to be facing off against one of them.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Magic Missile Can I do that with one so close to me, or do I have to hit the ones further?
Oh, no, it's magic missile. It auto hits. Like, it
I know,
doesn't.
but
not
I
like you're
wasn't sure
rolling
if it's
50 things.
ranged, if there was any.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to. I get 3 darts, so I'm gonna hit all 3 of them into Dolly. That's it.
You
Do
just get to
each
roll.
of them get the +1?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 3, 2, and 2.
Is that the total then?
Yes.
All right. So that's a total of 7. Boom, boom, boom. Into Dolly. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Velindra.
All right. When I did the necrotic damage last turn, did it seem to cause some like withering of the poppet? Did it hurt it?
It hurt it as much as you would expect it would.
Okay. I am going to cast Vampiric Touch. I am sick of this thing. So that is a melee spell attack. I'll roll at disadvantage. So that is... I rolled pretty good though, Adam. 19 to hit.
That hits.
Yes. On a hit, 3d6 necrotic damage. And I regain hit points. Oh my god. But my damage dice are failing me so bad. That is 4 points of necrotic damage.
So you heal 4 points and you deal 4 points of damage to the poppet. And what happens when you do is that you watch the organic material, the burlap and the straw and the cotton that's been stuffed in, all start to just wither away and crumble as you reach out and touch it, and it falls apart into a pile of dust. You have killed it.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on this turn?
Now I would like to use my movement to get to the door.
Okay. What are you going to do when you get to it?
Is there any window?
There is not.
I will get there and yell, who's there?
Okay. Are you holding it closed or are you about to throw it open?
I am not going to throw it open. I am holding it closed. I'm not touching it. I just ran up to it.
Okay. That brings us to Dolly, who is going to take another shot at Orla. Dolly rolls a 12, which I know does not hit.
Correct.
And you're already immune to the creepy voice, although she's still looking up at you and going, let's be friends. I want to be your friend forever. And she's trying to like claw at your leg, but you just keep stepping back out of the way, gnashing her little gross teeth at you. Mm-hmm. And then the jester chest pulls back its arms and smashes the symbols together twice. Well, that's a nat 1 on the first one, so that one's going to miss, Emora. But the second one is going to be a 18. Does that beat your AC?
Yeah.
All right, so that is 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of thunder damage. But it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like, as a bonus action, to Misty Step, so I get behind this thing.
Okay, great.
And then I want to hit it with something, but a lot of my stuff has to do with spikes in the ground and stuff.
You cannot cast another full spell because you just cast Misty Step, but you can cast a cantrip.
Yeah. All right. Then I will cast. Now I'm going to cast. Where to go? I'm going to try casting Thorn Whip.
Okay.
Ooh. Does a 23 hit?
Oh, yes, of course it does.
9 points of damage.
What does it look like when you cast Thorn Whip?
It's like a piece of just vine just appears kind of in my hand, and it almost has a mind of its own. And I just cast it forward, and it just deals its damage.
Sorry, you said it was 9 damage?
Yes.
All right. The children are still huddling. Orla, it is your turn again. What would you like to do?
I'm going to look down at Dolly and say, I will never be your friend. And cast Mind Sliver, which is a 15 int save from you.
I rolled a 16. So 12 total.
All right. So that's 2d6, which is a 6 and a 5.
Oh, shit. That'll do. Total of 11. I actually rolled a 13 on the save, but it doesn't matter. So... yeah, you see Dolly's head just rocks back and the eyes shut in pain, squeezing tight in pain. She starts to cry out, no! Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Dolly's still kicking though?
Oh, yes.
Dolly's still kicking. Can I do an offhand as a bonus and kick it?
Only when you're making melee attacks can you get that offhand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess that's it.
All right. Velindra, you're at the door. The other two are still fighting. What would you like to do?
I would like to call out to whoever's behind the door. Who's there?
There's no response. Actually, at the sound of your voice, the banging becomes more frantic.
Oh, shit. We've only got Dolly left, right?
No, the jester chest is still
Jester's
kicking.
still going?
Yep.
Am I within 30 feet of one of those?
Yes, both of them, actually.
All right. I am not touching that door. I don't trust it. So I'm going to run back and I'm going to go after the jester chest.
Okay.
Would that use my full movement of 30 feet?
Oh, no, like 20 feet, maybe.
20? Okay, perfect.
This room is like 40 by 50, so you are going to clear more than half the room most of the time that you're moving. So
Perfect. Well, as I book it back to just keep fighting with my friends, I'm going to hold on to that shadowy hand of the vampiric touch because it's concentration.
Yep.
And I'm going to now use it against the jester chest.
Okay,
So that is, I don't have to roll with disadvantage anymore.
that's true.
So that is going to be, a 23 to hit.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, now hopefully I roll better necrotic damage here. Well, a bit better. That will be 9 points of necrotic damage.
And you heal that much as well, or up to maximum. I don't know how many hit points you have, but all right.
Oh, I actually, wait, in the book it says you regain half.
Ah, okay, so you would have regained 2 the first time and 4 this time. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'd like to just free action call out to the two gals and say, I don't think we want what's behind the door to come in. And that's all.
All right, that brings us to Dolly's turn. She's going to very angrily now claw. Ooh, that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And she doesn't actually do any physical damage when she grabs you. She just sinks her nails in just a little bit to pinch, but you can feel the fear just fill your heart completely. And you're going to take 3 points of psychic damage, and I need you to make a DC 11 Constitution save.
That was a 17. And then
Wow.
you said I have to subtract some from that?
Yeah, 2 off of it, because you have
Okay,
one
so
level of
15.
exhaustion.
15 then.
15. That beats that DC of 11. So you are not frozen in place by the fear.
Okay.
Emora, it is your turn.
I'm gonna do a little something crazy here.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Hold on. The jester chest goes first.
No.
Velindra was the last one to attack it, so it is going to turn around and it is going to leap over her head and land, never leaving your 5-foot reach, but leap over to the other side of you and try to hit you twice with these symbols. The first one I rolled a 2. The second one is going to hit for certain. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of thunder damage to Velindra. Now it is your turn, Emora.
Yes.
You can see Dolly is trying to terrify Orla and is sunken her claws into Orla's ankle. And then also at the same time, the jester chest has been smashing the symbols against Velindra as well, creating a whole lot of damage and making her wince.
Okay, I'm going to, who's closer to me?
The jester chest.
I'm going to do something a little crazy here. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab it and do shocking grasp.
Okay.
I hope I roll high enough. Is 19 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
Nice.
Okay. Just so you know, on a hit, it can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn.
Depending what you roll, it might not matter.
7 damage.
How would you like to do it?
Oh, I want its arms to just fall off and realize that its purpose in life is now over and then just die.
It does. The eyes of this also, they're lit up by the electricity as you shock it. You reach out and grab it. It goes, blah, 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 and then the eyes burst. Its arms blow off, and it falls down, little smoking tendrils coming out from the eye sockets. And over in the corner, you hear Ishmael scream because it was such a violent death. But Adelaide goes, yeah!
I look over at the kids and say, kids, don't try this at home.
Orla, What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look down at Dolly and like having just taken damage for the first time. I'm more miffed now, and so in like a deeper, dragony sort of growl voice, will say, "You can't scare me," and cast Mind Sliver again.
Okay.
So that's a 15 intelligence for you,
No.
and that's a 6 and a 3.
How do you want to do it?
I just want its little head to explode because it's so scared.
It looks up at you and just sticks its little, like a little lower lip out and pouts. It goes, "Why?" And then boom, its head explodes.
Nice.
Green confetti is gonna come out of it.
All right, fair enough. What would you like to do?
So we all the toys are gone. We still just have the knocking.
That's right. There's knocking at the back door still.
Okay.
We're gonna stay in initiative.
I'm gonna move up like by Velindra, like closer to the door, and just sort of prepare myself for whatever might be coming through that.
Okay. The children are still screaming and generally upset, although they're calming down a little bit. Velindra, what would you like to do?
I would like to direct the kids to go down to our room.
They are going to start to move past, but Ishmael is going to stop and look at the jester chest and just start to cry. It was so scary what just happened, and he is absolutely terrified. You can see Adelaide kind of gets to the top of the stairs at that open door. He says, come on, let's go. And he goes, and is just kind of freaking out.
Can I try and bolster him and persuade him it's gonna be okay? Look, it's dead. It's gone. It won't wake up again.
You can roll, but with disadvantage. He's in a full panic.
Yeah. Well, again, I rolled a nat 20 and then a 11 for persuasion.
Yeah.
So that'll be 15.
Okay, it's enough to calm him down for just a moment, but his eyes are still glued to the broken jester chest.
But it gets him moving?
A little bit, yeah. He's shuffling, like really trying to avoid getting too close to this thing.
Okay.
Emora, what would you like to do?
Is there like a window or something near this door that I could maybe peek out to see who could be on the other side of it?
Yeah, there was the window that you peeked out before when you saw Adelaide crying, covered in blood earlier.
I would like to do that, see what the heck is going on.
As you peek out, you see that sure enough is something banging at the back door. It is roughly the size of a person, but it is actually covered in scars and wounds, an undead three-headed goose with jagged sharp teeth in each of its bills.
No freaking way.
Please. Oh, I'm terrified.
You can see the center head is banging on the door in a rhythm. The other heads are frantically beating against it as well, a little bit lower down at much faster pace than they're trying to get in.
What in tarnation?
It is at this point as well where you hear Ishmael scream, and it is because there is laughter that is coming from the eyeless head of the jester chest as two eyes pop into existence and its mouth opens and a long tongue comes out, and the tongue looks like it's a long piece of paper that's covered in riddles and jokes, and it starts to giggle and it says, "Fear's a construct, fear's a construct." And then suddenly it rolls away from the box, breaking the spring, sprouts arms and legs again, and bounces up onto the ceiling where it grabs on. Its head swivels upside down and looks at everyone in the room and keeps repeating over and over, "Fear's a construct, fear's a construct, fear's a construct."
Oh my gosh.
Orla, what would you like to do?
All right. How far away is this jester guy from me? And is anybody close to him?
You and Velindra are about 15 feet away. On the other side of him, about 15 feet away, is Emora, but directly underneath him is Ishmael.
Okay. I'm gonna just cast magic missile directly at the toy.
Okay.
Or the jester. So,
Yeah, it is now the
Oh.
size of a human now. And
Okay.
it's hanging off the rafters.
yeah, so all three are gonna go right at him.
All right, let's roll.
So that's a 4, 2, and 3 total.
So that's a total of 9. They all go bump, bump, bump into him. His head snaps around upside down looking at you, and the tongue is wiggling. And he just says over and over, Fear is a construct. Fear is a construct. And then starts to giggle in a chittering little voice. Velindra, it's your turn.
All right. I am going to use my bonus action to use my draconic flight.
Okay.
And so I am going to sprout some shadowy, ashy looking wings, and I'm going to fly straight up so I'm between Ishmael and this thing, and right up to the roof, and I'm going to grab it by like the throat and cast or use vampiric touch again.
Okay. Also, however, it is going to use its first reaction. Yes, it has many. When you get close to it, it's going to reach out and try to slap you with one of its white-gloved hands.
Okay.
And he misses. You are able to juke out of the way.
Nice. All right. For a vampiric touch, oh my god, no! It's 9 to hit.
That's going to miss.
All right, I'm just going to stay, like, in that position. Like, I have my hand wrapped around its neck. It's not doing anything now, but...
Okay. And that's going to bring us to Emora.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to be all like, it's alive! That goose! And I'm going to be like, I'll be right back. And I'm going to turn into a black bear. And I'm just going to charge right at that door.
At the door?
Yeah.
Which door? The back door?
The door that it's banging on.
Okay, you're going after the goose monster?
Yep.
Okay.
We have unfinished business.
Are you looking and then the next thing is you're like, I'll be right back, and then you morph into a bear and run out the door?
No, like I scream, I'm like, it's the fucking goose. I'm like, I'll be right back. And then just morph into a black bear and then just tackle this door.
All right. You hit that door and it splinters and shatters. Can I get a strength check from you?
Yes. Am I just rolling a d20?
And adding your strength modifier.
2. 14 altogether.
Yeah, you're able to splinter this door. It was pretty much coming apart anyway. And when you do, you hit the creature on the other side of it. It failed. The two of you go tumbling down the stairs and into the yard out back.
All right. Is it still my turn?
You can have an attack if you'd like, but you're both prone. You would have disadvantage, but also advantage. Oh, so it can just be a straight roll.
Yeah, I'll try to slash at it. 16.
16 will hit, yeah.
And that's 1d6 plus 2. 8 damage altogether.
Okay, and is that your turn?
That's it. It says multi-attack, so I can do it again.
Yes, you can.
And with my other bear paw, I'm gonna swipe right at its fucking head. 15 hit.
That'll hit.
All right. 8 more points of damage. 8 points
I want you
damage.
to know that you have now removed one of the heads.
Oh my god, love it.
And another one is dangling on by just a little bit. You think that the spine is broken. There's like one head still functioning on this thing. You are having more goose for dinner.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the jester on the ceiling. So he's going to reach out with one very long limb, and it is going to grow and grow and grow, getting longer and longer until it's 30 feet long. And he's going to like wind it up in almost a caricature of a baseball pitcher and then slap at Velindra as hard as it can. Does a 22 hit?
Yes, it does.
That is 16 points of bludgeoning damage as he slaps you as hard as he can right across the face.
That is exactly my hit point max. So I drop.
You're down?
Yep.
Velindra is making death saves.
And I'm falling from the ceiling.
Yep, which means that you automatically lose 1.
Oh my gosh.
And Ishmael was under me.
Yes, we're going to roll. Hold on, we're going to roll this. That's 3 damage. So because you took damage from falling, that was the automatic 1 failure, right? I rolled 3 damage total, and we're going to divide it by 2. That's how this works. So that you would have only taken 1 damage, but it's enough to fail a death save. But Ishmael has taken 1 damage, and now he has fallen down. He's pinned underneath you, and he's crying in pain. Meanwhile, outside, the goose monster opens its beak, and you can see dozens of tiny little sharp teeth inside. And it attacks to do 3 points of piercing damage as it bites into you. The head that's kind of flopping also tries to like come at you, but it's going to roll with disadvantage. And you were lucky it did because it missed. And that brings us around to Orla. You just watched Velindra fall to the ground and land on a child who is now screaming in pain.
Okay. And how far away is the jester from me?
15 feet away and like 10 feet up.
Okay. I am going to cast Witch Bolt
Okay.
at the jester. That was a 15 to hit.
Oh, meets it, beats it.
Nice. So that is 4d12.
Oh,
Whoa.
Love Witch Bolt.
Come on. All right. A 9, a 12, a 9, and a 4. 34 lightning
Wow.
damage.
you can see it's up there going, fear's a construct, fear's a construct, and just sits there and gets electrocuted. You can see the sparks going, like arcing off of its jester hat, the little bells at the tips of it, and its eyes are like rolling comically, almost like a cartoon, over and over and over again in its eye sockets as it's sitting there shaking from Witch Bolt.
Beautiful. I am going to then move up to Velindra.
Okay.
Is giving a potion a bonus action or an action?
I believe it is a bonus action now in this edition.
Okay.
And as part of your action, you can pull it out as well. So you can absolutely feed her a potion.
Okay, yeah, I will give her a healing potion.
Yay.
So my homebrew rule on healing potions is it is, instead of whatever nonsense, we start off with, in this edition, 2 of your hit dice plus your constitution modifier for a healing potion.
All right. Those are D8s. Plus con just once?
Yeah.
That's 9 points back.
All right. And cross it off your character sheet, Peps, as well. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I believe that is it.
All right. Velindra, you are laying on the ground prone. There's a crying child underneath you. And above you, Orla is in the process of shocking the jester creature on the ceiling as lightning is arcing out of her fingertips and consistently still pulsing energy into this creature. What would you like to do?
Wow. I'm going to roll off of Ishmael and, well, I gotta get him out of here. He's gonna die. I don't love children, but I don't want them to die either. Can I pick him up and carry him towards the stairwell?
Yes.
I would like to do that so that he's then with, I know he's hurt. I don't have time to figure out what's actually hurting on him. I will carry him over to where his siblings are and ask him if he can stand.
He is not even paying attention to you. You can go ahead and ask him, but he's doing that thing that like upset children do, where he's just like flopped in your arms. He's like tense, like dead weight, but like all of the joints are weirdly loose too. And so you can ask him to stand. He would just collapse if you try to put him down.
Okay.
When you get there, you also see Adelaide is staring out at the 3-headed goose monster. She's staring at the back door, eyes wide, petrified, and tears streaming down her cheeks.
Yeah. All right. Are they standing at the top of the stairs? Yeah. Is there a door at the top of the stairs?
Yep.
And how many steps down? Sorry.
9.
9. Oh my god, I don't have fucking time for this. Okay, can I carry Ishpreet down the steps and leave him at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah, but that'll be your entire movement.
Okay, and then I will loudly yell at Adelaide.
This will be an intimidation check and it'll be the end of your turn.
Yeah, to come down here. Come down here.
So let's roll the D20 test.
Okay. Intimidation?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're trying to snap her out of it, right?
Yeah. That'll be 21.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. She'll look at you and then immediately, like on her turn, like you can see she's starting to move down, right?
Okay.
You snapped her out of it.
Okay. And
Emora, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna kill this thing.
Yep.
Kill it.
First attack. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 misses.
All right. Roll again. Oh, nat 20.
Yay!
All right, let's pull out the crick table. Let's roll a D20.
A 1. I'm glad I rolled the 21st.
This is just nothing happens. You roll damage dice as normal. So roll 2 of your... how many dice do you normally roll?
For damage on this? Since I'm a bear, it's 1d6.
So roll 2d6 and then add the strength modifier of the bear.
Okay. 7 altogether damage.
Oh, okay. How do you want to do it?
Oh, it's gonna explode again. I don't know how, but I'm gonna like cut it right at its stomach, and it's just like all the guts are gonna come out, and it's just done.
We've learned a thing about Miaca tonight in Geese.
We have.
Yeah.
All right. You have killed it. You have gutted it. You are still a bear. You are outside. Your claws are dripping with goosely viscera. You still have your movement if you would like.
I'm gonna run back in the house as a bear and set my sights on this weird thing right here.
Yeah.
Okay. The weird thing right here.
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to its turn. It's, I don't think, smart enough to try to get away from this. It is just going to try to attack. Yeah, it's going to reach out with this massive arm that's 30 feet long and wind it up and slap at Orla. Oh, I think a 23 will hit.
Yeah.
Is this, I don't think, is Witch Bolt? It's concentration, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That is 7 plus 4, so 11 points of bludgeoning damage. So your concentration check, you have to beat an 11.
For the concentration check, do I add anything to that, or is it straight
Yes.
D20?
Yes, your constitution.
Okay.
And I hate to say it, but are you still minusing 2 from exhaustion?
Yeah, I got 11 plus 4 minus 2, so.
So you are able
13.
to maintain the Witch Bolt. Yes, that's good. Phew. And it is Orla's turn now.
All right. Well, first thing is it takes another D12 of damage from the Witch Bolt.
Okay.
That is 4.
All right.
And then can I cast another spell as long as it's not concentration, correct?
That is correct. And you've used your bonus action, so it has to be an action spell.
Yes. So I'm gonna shoot chromatic orb at it. I'm using a 2nd level spell slot, but I'm gonna use one of my sorcery points to make it a 3rd level.
Oof. All right. We're not screwing around today.
No, I'm fucking over this guy.
What type of energy do you want to do?
Since I already have lightning shooting out of me, I'm gonna just continue with that. So I've got in one hand, I'm holding this like green lightning beam at it, and with my other hand, I'm gonna lob like lightning ball at it.
Okay.
And that is a 14 plus 5, so 19.
19 damage?
Yeah, that's subtracting. That's to hit.
That's to
So
hit.
that's subtracting the 2 also off of it.
Okay.
So 19 to
Perfect.
hit.
Yeah.
And that's 5d8. 7, 5, 8,
That's 20.
1. Did you get that 1?
Yeah, so that's 21.
All right. And 5.
So 26. Sorry, you rolled.
26.
Yeah, because you upcast it.
Yes.
How do you want to do it?
Well, he originally went out with Shocking Grasp, and now I'm shooting him with 2 different things of lightning. So he's again just gonna be like so surrounded by this green lightning energy coming at it that he's just gonna explode.
You're going to hear the giggle. And then boom, out he goes. There will be a number of different colors of confetti that rain down. The bells will tinkle to the ground, but the body itself is just exploded into confetti and a little jester playing card that is going to just fall gently like a feather down to the floor. The kids are screaming, all of them now, and Adelaide is running down the stairs towards Velindra. There doesn't seem to be an immediate threat, but there is now a gnome and a black bear sitting in the middle of the inn. And strangely enough, nobody else has woken up or come down to see what's happening. What would you like to do?
Where did Velindra go? Did you go downstairs?
Yeah, she's at the bottom of the stairs down where you guys are sleeping in the basement.
Initiative?
Yeah, we can drop out of initiative if you'd like.
I'm gonna still be in my black bear form, and I'm gonna cast message to Orla, and I'm going to say I'm gonna guard the door since I broke it. I don't trust, in case anyone else comes back in. Maybe you should go check on their parents and see why they did not wake up before we bring the kids,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So I'm assuming the parents' room is upstairs.
That's a decent assumption. The children are there. You could ask them.
Okay. I'll ask Adelaide where her parents' room is.
They are at the very top, the last door on the left down the hallway.
So I will cautiously head that way.
When you get there, you see that the doors open a crack. And it's not that it's their bedroom, it's their own small little apartment. You see a little living room area in there. And obviously the kids came out this way.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm going to go in just like cautiously, but calling their names.
There's no reply. Velindra, are you staying downstairs with the kids?
Yeah, there's a couple things I'll do down here while Orla is up there.
Okay, let's resolve that first. But also, I want Emora to give me a perception check as you're guarding the back door.
Okay.
So, Velindra, what are you doing with the kids downstairs?
I'd like to just usher them into our room.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check that the cellar door is locked.
It is.
And then I'm going to give Adelaide the key.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk out to the main inn door and say, I'm going to shut this, lock it behind me.
She's going to ask, can you light the lantern first? I'm not allowed to.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
I can somehow use prestidigitation to do that, can't I?
Let's say yes. Without looking it up, let's say yes.
Yeah, and say, if you need to flee, go out the cellar door with the key. And then I shut the door.
She nods and sniffles. Yeah.
And then I am going to run upstairs and try and join Orla, like catch up to her up there.
All right. Before you do that, Emora, what was your perception check?
Just to double check, I'm using the Black Bear's perception modifier, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, it's 24.
You notice two things. One is that massive murder of crows that you saw in the distance on the horizon before is now swirling around above the village, consistently moving in front of the moon. And you can see that there are tens of thousands of them. But they're a good solid few 100 feet above. Additionally, you see that there are all of these strange purple wisps of what looks like little purple lights. You'd almost call it smoke, but they're glowing, that are coming out of some of the windows of the houses in the second ring of the village here. So they all seem to be swirling out the window and heading in long, thin streams towards the town square.
Okay.
Now, upstairs, Orla, no one has responded. You're calling the names and you're getting nothing back.
All right, I'm gonna continue like checking doors for their bedroom.
There's only one door that's actually closed now because the kids would have left their bedroom doors open. And so it's pretty obvious which door it is. And when you go to open it, you see in grayscale, the parents are asleep in bed. But what stands out to you is you see these like strange gray swirls of what look like a very dim light coming out of their foreheads and going out the window in thin streams.
I'm going to cast message to Velindra to get up here, assuming she's within 120 feet, as she said she was on her way up.
You would say this as she's like heading up the basement stairs. So she's on her way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like get up here quick and then I'm gonna send my mage hand over to sort of shake the parents.
There's no reaction. Velindra, you're going to get up there and join her. You will see the exact same scene. You are Dragonborn, which now have dark vision. So you see the same thing.
All right. I am going to also drink my own health potion at this point.
Yep.
Roll those. That's much. And I'll tell Orla, thanks, by the way, for the revival there. This looks really bad.
Yeah. I don't think lights are supposed to come from people's heads.
No, not at all. Can I look out? Is there a window I can look out?
Yes, that's where the little streams of like smoky energy are heading out, is directly out the window.
And would this happen to be facing the town square?
It is.
Yay! I would like to see where the hell this is heading and if I can see anything out there.
You can see this is heading directly, although it's like kind of swirling and waving a little bit. It heads in no uncertain terms directly towards FNG Jack's forehead.
Oh my god. See?
And you can see as well hundreds of other tendrils, all converging on his forehead.
Do we gotta destroy that?
Well, I think so. It's either taking souls or building energy through this fear. Something like that.
Emora, you rolled high enough, you'd be able to also hear in the distance from different houses, children crying and screaming.
Oh my gosh.
How far away is the statue from us?
From the front door, it's going to be about 400 feet.
I think we gotta go out there and we gotta try and stop whatever's happening.
Do you think you ladies could cover me enough so I can get close enough to fireball it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should grab the horses and then just take the horse, because we're 400 feet away faster.
You would have to go down to the stables, pull them out. It would take you minutes, like 10, 15 minutes to get the horses ready.
Couldn't they just, like, ride on my back and then I just run up there?
I will absolutely give that to you guys because one of them is a gnome.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head back down.
Here we
Are you
are.
guys convening at the front door?
Yeah.
When you get down there, both of you can mount Miaca however you would like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I'm mounting so many things tonight.
You're able to push out the door. The front door's not locked. It's a public building, right? So you're able to push out through it, Miaca, pretty easily. And so with both Velindra and Orla on your back, you can look out and you can see now that there are thousands, tens of thousands of crows that are circling all over the entire valley here. As you step out, it is still decently lit. The lanterns are still brightly lit above every one of the tables in the town square, and it's casting an eerie glow on the front half of FNG Jack as the head still like points down looking at the town square. All of these tendrils, and you can see in the light now that they're purple and they're wispy and they're all converging on his forehead. How quickly do you move, Miaca?
Pretty quick. As a bear. Second. My speed is 30 feet.
Okay, so is it really only 30 feet?
It's like speed 30 feet, climb 30 feet, swim 30 feet. Yeah.
That feels absolutely wrong for a black bear, but okay, so 30 feet. So you're able to dash 60 feet in a round with them on top of you. And how close do you want to get?
I need to be within 150 feet of it.
So you would need to go 250 feet. So it's going to take about 30 seconds to cross that distance. And then you are now within 150 feet. Do you guys want to keep the same initiative?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then Orla, you are up first.
I'm gonna fireball the statue.
Okay.
So that's a 15 deck save from the statue.
Hold on, let me roll. No, it fails.
8d6. 2 5s, a 3 and a 2, a 5, a 6, a 4, and a 3.
All right, that brings us up to 18 plus 15 is 33.
All right.
You see FNG's head just lights up and explodes with fire. And you can see that some of the corn stalks, the reeds, the wood that this is made out of are lit up. The face itself starts to burn away. The large canvas that was painted over top of it starts to burn and peel back. You can see the structure through it as the head slowly turns as if the eyes are looking at you for a moment. And then the head falls off and shatters to the ground, revealing about 10 feet behind where the head was, there is the figure of what looks like a person in long robes, their arms outstretched, hovering in the air. A large beak from its crow head is wide open, sucking in all of these tendrils of energy into its mouth. It has a wide-brimmed hat that is short and black, but very, very wide, that is casting its whole face in shadow, except for these little lights of these little motes of energy that are coming in. And it seems to be ignoring you completely. You have revealed behind its head what was described in the story as the Crow Maestro.
I knew it.
With it being within 10 feet and it being a 20-foot radius, would it also have to make that deck save?
Yep. I'm going to roll it with disadvantage, which was a 15 and a 7. So he would also take, was that 33 damage.
Nice.
That brings us to Velindra.
Okay. We are stopped. We are at 150 feet right now.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hop off and I'm going to run straight ahead up 30 feet, my full movement, so that I'm at 120 feet away. And
Okay.
I'm going to cast Firebolt and ball up a shape of fire in my hand and just whip it straight at its head. So that will be a ranged spell attack. Come on. It's going to be 15 to hit.
That hits.
That hits. Yay. Okay. Now that's 2d10. Nice. That is 19 points of fire damage.
Ooh.
And this one as well, flammable objects hit by this spell start burning.
You can see that there are some like feathers that are hanging off of its cloak that are like igniting a little bit, and you blow the hat right off of this creature's head.
Nice.
It's going to fall slowly to the ground as it burns.
Perfect. Okay, I'll end my turn there.
Emora, what would you like to do?
Will it take up an action for me to turn back to myself?
Oh, it takes a bonus action.
Okay, I'll do that then. Good.
I'm still on top of you, so as you do that, I just sort of slide down your back. Sort of bounce off your booty onto the ground.
I was like, hello, Orla. How are you?
So I'm confused. Orla, was it more satisfactory to ride her or to bounce off of her booty?
I can only tell the Patreons that.
Okay, all right.
Ask me in the Discord later.
Oh man. Let's see. What is this guy doing? Is he just laying on the ground, or is he like?
Oh no,
up?
he is floating up 80 feet in the air.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
his arms outstretched.
He
Okay.
really responded to our damage yet. Like, he's still just absorbing all the tendrils.
Yep.
Ew. Okay. I want to cast Hold Person on him. See if this will stop.
Okay.
You must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
That is a fail.
What? Oh, dang it.
No. It failed the save. You are
Oh! Aha! I succeeded. Okay. I'm going to say he's paralyzed. That's all I can do. That's my action. I've paralyzed him.
When he becomes paralyzed, a couple of things start to happen. One is he begins to slowly float down to the ground again, but all of the tendrils just disappear, as if all of the energy has now stopped. As he starts to float down, it is like a spell of stillness in the air has been broken, and there are 10,000 loud caws from above you, as you can see this monstrous murder of crows start plummeting down towards you. A huge swarm of tens of thousands of them, all aiming directly for you. However, it is the caw from the top of the inn that actually gets you all to look. It is so much louder and so much deeper than any of the others. And you can see a crow beast that is there. It is the size of a horse. There are huge feathers coming off of its forearms. It's got talons and off both its feet and where there are hands at the tips of its wings. Its beak is long and sharp, and it has 6 eyes. It is looking down specifically now at Emora, and it swoops down towards her.
Doesn't have to.
but it's going to. It's going to come down directly on top of you, and it is going to swoop down and then drop the last 20 feet. You get to make a dex save.
7?
7?
Yeah.
That's going to fail. I rolled an 11, so you will each take 5 points of damage, and you are now prone underneath it.
I can speak with animals, though.
This is not an animal.
Okay.
So that was its movement. It then gets multi-attack. The very first thing it does is it enters its feeding frenzy, driven by its insatiable hunger for souls.
Oh.
So you can see all the feathers ruffle, and it caws out, and you can feel yourself fill with fear. There's no mechanic to this. You are just frightened of it. And then it's going to slash at you with claws and peck at you with its beak.
Oh.
Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
I'm rolling with advantage because it's on top of you as well, and you're pinned down. But that was only 7 points of slashing damage. And then with the beak, you can see this maw open up and just the utter dread in the blackness in the back of its mouth. I rolled a natural 20.
Oh my god.
That is... But I'm rolling like shit for damage. So that is 6 points of piercing damage as it hits you with the beak, but there's also a psychic factor as well. 11 points of psychic damage.
I'm making death saves.
No!
You can also see that when it pecks down, it absorbs some of the soul of Emora, drinking it in, and it's that same purple light, but a much stronger, wider stream of it right into the gullet of the fear feather. It caws loudly and starts to flap its wings, lifting up off of the ground, carrying Emora's body up, but it only gets up about 5 feet, and that's the end of its turn. the Crow Maestro has stopped floating downwards, but it's not its turn yet. So now, one of the things that we're going to deal with right now is you are not actually making death saves, Miaca. It's the psychic damage that put Emora into 0 hit points. And so what you need to tell me is, what has been the scariest thing that's happened so far in this adventure, in your opinion?
I don't really care for scarecrows.
She goes down and falls unconscious, and the fear feather has lifted her up. And it is at this point that you see about 7 or 8 of the scarecrows come to life, start shaking off their posts, and start breaking into the nearest houses to attack the people within.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Orla, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna use my innate sorcery ability that is a bonus action that makes my spell save DCs go up by 1. So the 15s will be 16s now. And I have advantage on attack rolls of sorcery spells.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use one of my sorcery points to cast Witch Bolt at a level 3.
Okay. At which?
The Fear Feather. So that gives me advantage on this. So that's a 16, so really a 14 plus 7.
Oh, that absolutely hits, yes.
Okay, so then I used that sorcery point to make it a level 3, so that's 4d12. That's 11, a 4, a 6, and a 10.
That's 31 points of damage?
Yeah.
Oof. All right. You have burned through the temporary hit points that it had gained when it had siphoned the health out of Emora. So you've burned through those, which is awesome. And it drops Emora to the ground. Fortunately, it wasn't high enough that would cause any damage. But Emora lands, still unconscious with 0 hit points. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I think I'm out. I think that's it.
Okay. Velindra, what would you like to do?
Okay. Can I get an idea of how far I am away from...
So the fear feather that just dropped Emora, remember you ran 30 feet away from them?
Yeah.
Ahead, right? So they're still back there. And so you're 30 feet from the fear feather and you are lined up directly between the two, but the Crow Maestro is 120 feet away and like 70 feet up in the air.
All right. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to bonus action cast Hex on the Fear Feather.
Okay.
It has a range of 90 feet. And then...
You get to choose an ability check.
Oh, right.
As part of Hex. They would have disadvantage on anything rolled with that one of the 6 abilities.
Let's try Dexterity.
Okay.
Never used Hex before. I haven't had a character that used it. Okay. And then I am going to...
So, because it was a first level, you only have access to cantrips.
Yeah. And Hex doesn't say anything about leaving the range being a problem.
That's true.
Okay. What I'm going to do then is cast Ray of Frost with my magic action.
Sure.
It has a range of 60 feet. So this is a ranged spell attack.
Yes.
And that is a nat 1. This dice is going away. 13.
You get winded. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
I thought that was that one.
Yep. So that means that you move 5 feet slower and you have to put a -2 on any d20 roll.
Great. Okay, then. I'm going to stay where I am.
All right. Emora, you have to roll an incredibly high charisma save.
Oh, no. Well, all right. D20. 11.
All right. Moving on then. The Crow Maestro begins to float back up again. It opens its maw, and all of the tendrils of energy start to snake out of windows again, heading towards its open beak. The swarm of crows is still above you, and it is still plummeting down. It is like 1,500 feet away, but dropping quickly. The Fear Feather, ignoring Emora altogether, swoops over towards Orla, who is the closest. And let me see if it can do its... Yep, and it enters its feeding frenzy again as it attacks. So this is going to be a beak attack first and then claws this time. My God, I'm on fire right now. 24 to hit. I'm going to assume hits.
Yeah.
4 points of piercing. God, but my damage dice suck. And 4 points of psychic damage as you are filled with the fear as you look into its gaping open beak. And then it's going to slash at you with claws and miss. That is its turn. Orla, it is your chance to respond. It is directly beside you and towering over you.
Okay. Well, first, it's still within range for my witch bolt, so that's a D12 worth of damage.
Did you roll concentration?
Or not? Oh no, I didn't.
So,
Adding.
the most powerful of either of those attacks, they were both 4, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna pass.
Yep, that was 6 plus 4, but minus 2, so 8.
Yeah, an 8 still beats it.
Okay, so then it gets 7 damage from that witch bolt.
Okay.
I mean, it was a good combination before, so I'm gonna chromatic orbit in
Are you doing lightning damage again?
Yeah. And I'm gonna use. I'm down to first level spells, so I'm gonna use another sorcery point to make that at least a second level. And I still have advantage on those attack rolls, I believe. So it's a 14 plus 7 or an 11 plus 7. So 14, which is really 12.
Plus 7. 19 will hit.
19.
Yes, that hits.
Okay. So then that is 4d8. That is an 8 and a 3 and a 5 and a 3.
So 19 points.
Beautiful.
This thing shivers and shakes as electricity courses through it. You can actually see arcs of electricity going between the top and bottom parts of its beak and arcing there in between the toes of its talons and the claws that are there. It shrieks and caws in pain, but when it does, it actually sounds like the same cry that Emora made when she fell down unconscious, and it is mimicking her voice now. Velindra, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I am going to see how it likes other kinds of crackling energy, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at it. So that's going to be a 20, not natural.
All right.
And I've also rarely used Eldritch Blast.
It's shocking it's taking us this long to get to it.
And so it is just 2 beams now that I'm at 5th level. All right, so the damage on the first one is 8 points of force damage.
Okay.
And the second attack is 21 to hit.
That's including your -2, right?
Oh, sorry, 19 to hit.
That still hits. Yeah.
Did the other one would have still hit? No.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then that is 3 additional points of force damage. And then I also have Hex on it, so that is an additional 5 points of necrotic damage.
It cries out loudly in Amora's voice again, and then it stops and starts to cry out in Ishmael's screams that you had heard earlier, the ones that had woken you up. You can see that when you've hit it, you've actually broken 2 of its toes, and there's just a ton of feathers that are floating to the ground now.
Excellent. I'm going to stay where I am.
Emora, can you please roll an incredibly high charisma save?
Come on.
I will try. 12.
All right. You failed twice in a row, and that means that more scarecrows start to come alive, and they start breaking into the buildings they're closest to. One of the scarecrows is just kind of looking at Emora's unconscious body and slowly creeping its way over there, 5 feet at a time, smiling down at her from its jester face.
Yeah.
The screams of the children are echoing through the village, dozens and dozens of screams, and the caw of all of the different crows that are plummeting towards you as they get closer. They're now 1,200 feet away. They're filling the night sky with a cacophony of noise. And now the tendrils have reached the Crow Maestro, and he is absorbing. The Fear Feather, still closest to Orla, the Feeding Frenzy kicks in. The first is going to be a claw attack. That's going to miss. And then the beak attack. Does a 18 hit, Orla?
It does.
That is 7 points of piercing damage and 11 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
What has been the scariest thing that has happened so far in this adventure?
Watching her friends go down.
Orla falls and hits hard. Velindra, you go completely limp and hit the ground as well, your eyes fluttering back.
What?
However, you are able to maintain your consciousness. You were just temporarily prone. The good news is that the Fear Feather's turn is now over. So, Orla, I need you to make a very high charisma save.
Well, I have advantage on charisma saves because the first one I rolled was a 4, the second one I rolled was a 19, and I have a +7.
-2.
-2.
All right. You are able to shake this off, and so your greatest fear no longer impacts the world, but you are still at 0 hit points and unconscious. Velindra, you can feel this sudden weakness shake off. It is your turn. You are lying on the ground, though.
Okay. Do I have any idea whether my friends are dying or just unconscious?
From 30 feet away, with all of this going on around you, I'll give you the ability to roll a perception check to see if you see movement from their chests.
Okay. That's a nat 1.
So you have no idea, but at least we got that nat 1 out of the way.
Okay. Shit. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast again at it.
Okay.
That's a nat 1 on a different die.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Let's roll on the crit table.
18.
You embolden the enemy. The target can use up to half its hit dice to heal immediately.
Great. Well, I'll try that again.
Okay.
On the second beam. And that is another nat 1.
Oh, no.
That's
My God, Casey.
3 different d20s. Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Adam, I rolled a nat 1 again.
Is that 4 in a row?
Yeah, and that was for the crit table. So a nat 1 on the crit table, I think, is really, really bad.
It is. You're overcome with fear. You are so overcome with fear that you drop everything and fall to your knees. The fear that you are radiating after watching your 2 friends clearly die in front of you, as well as the oppressive ceiling of crows swooping down towards you. It is hopeless. This creature is coming towards you. Its giant wings are almost like gorilla arms, with the talons like clutching and leaving marks in the ground. It caws loudly, all of its 6 yellow eyes blinking at you, and its mouth opens up, and you see utter despair. The fear is so total. You lose all control and are overcome by weeping. The Crow Maestro snaps its beak closed and immediately looks down at you, and then flies towards you. You are going to have to make a wisdom saving throw every turn in order to break this spell, this fear that has come over you. The fear feather gets right up in your face and caws loudly, but does not attack. I'd like you to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
And you have the -2 still.
That's a 19.
You are able to shake off this fear at the last moment, just as the Crow Maestro gets down to you, and you hear in a thick, raspy voice, "Oh, you thought you could stand up to the fear in your heart. Listen to the screams of the children now." The fear feather is going to have its turn, and then it will be your turn again. The feeding frenzy kicks in another time, and it rolls to attack with its claws. Casey, what's the opposite of a nat 1?
Adam. A 20?
Yeah.
You are determined to truly murder one of us.
That's 14 points of slashing damage. And then it's going to attack with its beak. It has advantage because you're prone. You rolled an 18 and a 3, so the 18 means that it hits with a 23.
Yep.
9 points of piercing damage, 7 points of psychic damage. How are you looking?
28 plus 9 is 37. Oh yeah, I'm out.
Velindra's consciousness fades away into a fresh, hellish nightmare as her friends slowly die around her. The fear feather drank of one witch, then the second, and finally the third, until there was nothing left. And floating above town square, the Crow Maestro gorged himself on the souls of every sleeping adult in the entire valley. The night air filled with tens of thousands of crows, but only the sounds of wings flapping and talons on roofs accompanied the screams of Cornix's children as they each came face to face with their greatest fears. In the basement, under the Rook and Reverie, Adelaide, Ishamel, and little Obi huddled on Emora's bed in the dim lantern light. Their fears had been slain before their eyes, but their worries weighed heavy on their hearts. When dawn finally broke the horizon in the east, there was not a single sign of any crow in the town square of Cornix. The Crow Maestro, Fearfeather, and all 3 witches were gone. The corpses of the town's adults, from Longfingers to Althery, from old wrinkled Hunklewood to Seraphina and her husband, from the butcher and her daughter to the dwarven grandmother who had not long ago tried to comfort her fussing grandchild, all lay still and cold in their beds. And every child who had screamed their way through the darkest hours of the night was now gone, an absence left behind open doors, where crow feathers rested on droplets of drying tears. After all, fear may be a construct, but that does not mean it isn't real. On the road coming from the north, a cart drawn by a mule descends down into the valley. The axle that had taken 3 days to repair is now fixed, and the bedraggled halfling finally makes his way into town. He glances at the sign on the side of the cart that screams at every reader in neon paint about cheap fireworks and dazzling pyrotechnics, and the merchant sighs. He missed the fearless feast by 2 days, but his grumbling stomach will feel loss of profits for at least a month. He walks beside the mule for most of the morning, taking in all the heaps of straw and discarded jester's clothes that lay pulled apart and discarded in the ditches beside the road into town. He watches the countless crows in the fields feasting on the crops as the sounds of unattended pigs and geese warble to his ears from recently abandoned barns. Not a single farmer works a field, and not a single child can be heard laughing. Knowing a bad omen when he sees one, the halfling black powder merchant shifts gears from disappointment to alarm. Every shop is closed, and the skyline is free of chimney smoke. There is no smell of cinnamon from the bakery, and no horse on any hitching post in town square. What occupies the center of town instead is a massive wooden jester statue with no head and 3 large, dried bloodstains on the cobblestone street. The merchant turns to flee, but freezes. On the boardwalk in front of the inn are 3 human children, each under 10 years old. The eldest, a girl, holds the baby in one arm and holds the toddler against her with the other. "Please," she says, "take us with you." His compassion overwhelms his fear as the traveling merchant rushes to them. "What happened here, young ones?" he pleads. The girl looks faint, near collapse, as if she hasn't slept in days. "Please, mister," she whispers. "We have to go now. We have to get out before dark. Not even Jack can save us now." The toddler raises his head and looks him in the eye. "No one can save us," the toddler says. "Not even witches."